Testing, testing. We live here? All right. I think we live. Yep, we're live. What's up? What's up? Hey, happy Friday, everybody. Happy Friday. Welcome, my friends, my family, my fellow gamers. Your only friend in these YouTube streets, Puertorock77. And we're back with another Friday night live. What is going on, my peoples? How's everybody's Friday doing? How's everybody weekend? Oh, the weather warmer. The weather's going warmer, so I had to lower the temperature, which means the bills are gonna go up. But it is what it is. How's everything? How's everybody doing? How's the chat doing, man? Mad love to the chat. Thank you for rocking out. Thank you for showing up. And then of course, as more viewers come in, gonna to have a great show. But while you're here, if you don't mind, please hit the like button and share this stream out on your favorite social media platform, whatever you use. Let people know. Let's get more people in. But I really appreciate you guys rocking out. Thank you for showing up. We got some good topics today. We got some good stuff. We'll talk a little bit about the new zoo report. It's a free copy, so I ended up getting a free copy about it. I'm gonna talk about a little bit of apparently how to fix Game Pass. That's a thing now, apparently, and stuff. And we still got PlayStation derangement syndrome going around in this community. We got people crying over PlayStation still. They can't cope with the fact that PlayStation bounced on their ass. They bounced on them. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Um, you know, but we're chilling, everything. Just a little bit of table talk here. Resident Evil Requiem. God, that game is phenomenal. That game is absolutely phenomenal. Been playing it all weekend. Um, right now, I'm playing as Leon, and he's in the laboratory. I don't want to give too much detail um, to prevent spoilers, whatever. But if you guys already played the game, the orphanage, the main laboratory, that's where I'm at right now, and absolutely, absolutely amazing. So when we get to, I think everybody should know this by now. But there's a certain, I think everybody. I think it was in the trailer. The Raccoon Police Department. That was in the trailer, so that's not a spoiler, whatever. But going back to the police department, right? For the characters, nostalgic. I'm not gonna get into details again if you haven't been to that part. But for me, it was nostalgic as well. Like it it generated it generated nostalgia that had me reflect on the franchise, right? Because as I was going through the police department, certain things that are there are things that you did in the game. Now, keep in mind, I played Resident Evil 2 when it first came out on the PlayStation 1. One of my favorite games, phenomenal what they did, right? And then I played the remake as well. But looking at it through the lens of nostalgia, through Resident Evil 9, it made me really think about what Capcom has done with the Resident Evil franchise as well. It just even as playing, it even made me look at the game Resident Evil Requiem itself, right? And what I mean by that, what I'm trying to say is pretty much is since the birth of Resident Evil, Capcom has pretty much found a great balance of different gameplay styles. You know, you have the gameplay mechanics with the combat, the horror element, balancing that with the horror element, balancing that with, your storage, and how much stuff you can have, because that's a gameplay in itself, resource management, balancing that with puzzles, and balancing that with the Metroidvania style gameplay, going back and forth to solve different puzzles. All of that while effectively making it challenging to do, but not so challenging when you get lost. Like you know what to do, but you still have to do it. You know what I mean? I look back and I'm thinking, man, Resident Evil is not the type of game where I needed a game guide or I felt completely lost. It's as if no matter where you go, what you do, Capcom found a way that you can easily remember and know what to do, even though you can't do it at that time. They effectively did an amazing job with the Metroidvania style, plus the resource management, plus the combat, plus just great design in the structure and the puzzles. It's just all works. They just all across the board. It just works great. And I'm like, and it just got to thinking like, damn, they've been doing this since like '95. That's phenomenal. That is absolutely phenomenal. Like you really look at the Resident Evil franchise as a whole, it's a goated franchise. Not just on the merit that it's just good, but when you really break it down to the individual parts, they had to really make a lot of things work and put it together and integrate it. All the things that it does, again, Metrovania, resource management, gameplay, world design, Metroidvania, and do all that and do it in a way where the player won't feel totally lost, but yet still feel the dread of the game and know what to do. Exception, I would say Resident Evil 6. That was like, what the hell happened? That that was what's the Michael Bay took over that project. I think with Resident Evil 6 they took over Michael Bay, right? Resident Evil 5, all right, but Resident Evil 6, oh yeah, somebody mentioned it. What happened? What the fuck happened with 5 and 6? I would say 6 was the real that became Michael Bay. I don't know. Maybe they thought that. I would say with Resident Evil 5 and 6, Resident Evil 5 wasn't that bad. It was pretty good. Resident Evil 6 to me was the bad one. And I think maybe Capcom got nervous, thinking the formula was no longer wanted, that it was outdated, maybe, right? And after Resident Evil 6, they went on a hiatus and they brought the franchise back with Resident Evil 7 with first person. But you saw with Resident Evil 7, they brought back the original formula and it worked phenomenal. And I think they realized that their formula that they created in the beginning was timeless. They have a timeless formula. As long as they execute it well, it's a timeless formula. It's really good. It's absolutely really good. Absolutely really good. So I'm at the orphanage and it just came freaking amazing, man. And I'm on the PS5 Pro, playing it on my Samsung S95F OLED. Man, it's gorgeous, man. It's gorgeous. Oh man, absolutely phenomenal, man. And I'm gonna keep pushing because the 28th I have early access to Sorrows. So that's what 8 days from now. What's today's date? Well, no, what's today's date? I'm a little bit out of tune. What's today's date? Oh, today's the 17th. Okay, in 11 days. In 11 days, Sorrows. I know it comes out the 30th, but I bought the deluxe edition, so people with the deluxe edition gets to play 2 days earlier. And I bought the deluxe edition with a discount because of I don't know if you guys got word of the whole Cash App. You get like 40% off or some shit like that, 50% off, something like that. If you purchase it through Cash App, you had to go to your Cash App, claim the PlayStation coupon for PS Plus discount, and you get discount up to $50, total of $50. So I used it to pre-order the deluxe edition of Sorrows, and I bought it for like $40, right? And most people, and I didn't even know that the PlayStation Network takes Cash App, so you could buy stuff through your Cash App. And I think that's why they did that. I think that's why Cash App did the promo so that way more people were aware. Because there was a lot of people. I didn't know. I didn't know Cash App was an option to pay on the PlayStation Network. I didn't know that. That's pretty good. So yeah, I got Sorrows for $40. And that's gonna be phenomenal. It's gonna be absolutely phenomenal. Let's see who we got here. Let me go through real quick with the viewer activity. Javaska112, thank you for the super chat. Javaska says, looking forward to another entertaining show. Hopefully no profanity. I will do my best. This time I will do my best. I know many people complain, and rightfully so. You just don't want to hear the cursing. Maybe your environment, maybe you got children and you have the thing blasting. I get it. I need to be more mindful to the viewer's environment. But sometimes, you hear my dog, or my daughter's dog. But sometimes I get overwhelmed. But I will show discipline for you, for the viewers. All right. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. Major Claridge, right? Gifted a member. So there's a member in the chat there's a someone in the chat got a membership, all provided by Major Claridge. Please give him a shout out and follow him on Twitter under the same name. Really appreciate it, right? All right. Puertorock, how do you like that chocolate thunder fight in the attic? SPR may have missed something. Was it in the chat? Was it in the group chat on Twitter? I'm missing something. I'm missing something. Oh, RE9. Yo, you threw me off once you said chocolate thunder. I'm like, what? Yo, yo, I was like, yo, I was like, do I have to set this to 18 plus? I was like, yo, I was like, yo, I thought it was something. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I don't know, man. I don't know. I thought Craig did something in the group chat or something. I'm like, well, what's going on here? Like chocolate thunder fight in the attic. Like what? I was like, got a quick Diddy oil. What's going on here? I was like, yo. And I was like, all right. Woo. I was like, woo. Okay. Let's continue. We got Charles Hawk, man. Hey, appreciate the super chat. Thank you so much. He says, why does Game Pass need to be fixed? I thought it was sustainable and pays for itself. Mm-hmm. 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 Yo, it's like it's like the real ones shine. And what I mean by that is when you're real, it may take a while, but your truth, the real truth you spoke will come to light. It's inevitable. The lies and bullshit might get the immediate attraction, right? It might get the immediate attention, immediate, it might go viral. It might get all the glamour in the beginning. But in time, the truth wins. The truth wins, right? Oh boy, this can't be happening. All right. Hold up. Let me type something. Then let me. I'm gonna start off. I'm gonna talk about this. Uh, all right. So let's get into some messery. Normally I would say the F word, but I'm trying to not curse. All right, for the love of you guys. All right. But anyway, before I move on, Thank you so much for rocking out. I want to say I really appreciate you guys showing up. It's Friday, it's Friday night, Friday afternoon, maybe morning, depending what part of the world you're at. And you guys just show up, rock out, enjoy. Um, and I really appreciate it. I mean, I really do. This is crazy. And I really thank you guys, right? I really thank you guys for being here, right? I hope you get to enjoy the show. And if you're new to the channel, this is your first time here, listening live right now, or maybe you just saw on your stream and now you're listening recorded. If you stick around and you continue and you enjoyed the show, then please subscribe, hit the like button, hit me up on Twitter, Puertorock77 underscore. I have an underscore, right? And then just hit me up and let me know you enjoyed the show and stuff like that. I know a lot of people really enjoying these lives, right? In fact, I was thinking, so my wife is the one that thinks of most of the ideas anyway. Funny. She's just a smarter person than me. Marry a person better than you. That's the best. That's one of the good advice I could get you. Marry someone better than you, right? Never marry someone you're better than. You'll never grow. But then you're probably thinking, well, shouldn't that advice go to your wife? And like, no. This don't apply to her. It applies to me. All right. She got the short end of the stick. I got the better end of the deal. That's just how it is, right? I got the better end of the deal of this marriage. But anyway, she's thinking, like, listen, babe, you really don't have to work because I really don't. I really don't. I really don't. Like, I'll be honest, it's driving me crazy, right? Job market's really tough now. I'm gonna let you know that right now. But my wife's like, why are you even sweating about working? I'm like, because I just like to make more money and do something. I don't know. You just can't stop. 29 years being in the Marines, and now all of a sudden, I just do nothing. It is a little bit, whatever, right? So, whatever. I'm thinking about going back to school. Anyway, whole different conversation. I think I might go for my master's, to be honest. Might as well. I have the time for it. But anyway, my wife's like, so just why don't you try to do another thing on your channel? I'm like, what other thing? I don't know, do a morning show. And I'm like, a morning show. So that's what I'm gonna ask you guys. Again, the morning show is not gonna be like a weird membership. No, it's another show at another time slot. And she said, because maybe there's people who can't see your evening show. But a morning show, not early morning, because I ain't doing no show on no damn 6 in the morning. You can forget about that shit. Oh, excuse me. Oh my god. I apologize. You can forget about that. But maybe like around 10 o'clock, 10 a.m. Eastern time. That would be like 7 p.m. I mean 7 p.m. 7 a.m. in the West Coast. And for those of you overseas, it might be a more opportune time. So I'm gonna make a poll. I was thinking of Wednesdays, but I'm gonna make a poll. Hold on, let me do a poll. Should I do a morning show? Should I do a morning show? Wednesday. I'll put Wednesday, 10 a.m. Eastern. Should I do a morning show? 10 a.m. Eastern. Yes, no. Yes, no. Yeah, the only time I could really do is Wednesday anyway, so because I can't do it in the weekends. But yes, no. Yes, no. Simple. So I'm gonna put the poll up and do it like that, and we'll see. Because I have the time. All I've been doing is like ordering shit from Amazon by the dozens. My house is looking like an Amazon distribution center. Constantly going back and forth from Florida for any reason. First week of May, we're gonna go to King's Dominion. Listen, I'm just bored, man. I mean, I'm not complaining. In fact, personally, I am blessful and I thank God that He was with me my whole life, even during the times I wasn't with Him. And He put me in this position where I am like, I could buy a TV if I want. I could, me and my wife, if I want to next week, I could plan a trip to Paris. I'm not bragging. I hope it's not taken that way. I'm just thankful, man. I'm thankful, and then I also, me and my wife, we do well, not as much here in California. We were doing a lot of charity work. We got to get back into charity. We got to get back into charity. We got to find um whichever. We just haven't found the right church here. We loved our church in California, but we need to find the right church here because we do a lot of charity and stuff and volunteering work. So we gotta get back to that. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of people, you know, not in the best situation. But anyway, so that was my wife's idea. Let me know where is let me know what you guys think. I'll try it out. That'll be the first question, right? The first question would be, should I do a morning show? And then the second is, how should it be formatted, right? Is it still about gaming, or should I do something else? Because we have the gaming podcast, 60 Frames No Lag on Tuesdays. We got my Friday Night Live, where I do gaming. Do you want a variety, or just stick to gaming with a different flavor? Maybe I could make it more about not the current topics. Maybe I could talk about specific things, not just like gaming news and console wars or just consoles. Maybe deep dive more into games. Maybe deep dive more into games in the past. Maybe talk about games I played in the past and deep dive how this was. I don't know. Just let me know. Let me know. We'll formulate this. Um, see how it is. All right. But now let me let me let me do this. So here we go. So Housemark, talking a little bit about sorrows, and they wrote an article. They talked about in their blog all the great stuff that Sorrow's going to come out with this AI scanning technology on the PS5 Pro and all that stuff, right? A lot of amazing things. A lot of amazing things Soros has, especially for the PS5. It's 60 frames across everything, right? Especially PS5. But of course, Pro has much, higher resolution, much better bells and whistles, right? Great thing. Fantastic game. It's just an amazing thing, right? But of course, the people who won't get to play the game, especially the people who thought they were going to get to play the game, the people who thought that a game like this would be day one on their platform, are complaining because the cutscenes are 30 FPS, right? The game is 60 FPS and all that stuff, all the bells and whistles, but the developer said cutscenes are 30 FPS, and now the focus is on that. They're crying over cutscenes. Case in point, this dude. Now, this dude's like, listen, I thought he was going to get over this. I thought, all right, he has an expensive PC. He's been talking shit for like 4 or 5 years on whole slate. He has. He absolutely has been talking shit. Let me show you what I'm talking about. And it's your boy Heartache. He's been talking shit, right? Even when I bring up something, he quotes tweets and he'd be like, haha, whole slate. Like he was deep in the whole slate. He was all about it. But once Sony pulled the plug, and the PC community finally realized they were never the main character. They were the side character. They were the side chick. And they got dumped. They all been on this tyrannical, how can I put it? PlayStation derangement system. Like this is what I'm saying? Like I had a tap on the shoulder, like, bro, you were always the side piece. That's just how it is. It is. You're inadequate. Sony said, yeah, we're done with y'all. Hey, at least you got the live service games, which we ain't playing anyway, but at least there's that. You get some kibbles and bits, right? But to cry about cutscenes, so I'm like, wait a minute. Like, come on, what we're doing? I'm like, yo, these are some of the games. There's literally hundreds of games on PC that are like, I just give some of the more recent ones. Clair Obscur, Kingdom Come Deliverance, Silent Hill F, Silent Hill 2 Remake, Assassin's Creed Shadow, and more are locked at 30 FPS on cutscenes. And notice, no complaint. No complaint that is locked 30 FPS on console. No complaint that is locked 30 FPS on console. I guarantee if he played any of these games, he saw the cutscenes and he didn't complain or did anything about it. Guarantee he played lots of games on PC with cutscenes at 30 FPS and not one word. Every PC game does. It's not really worth the thing. 30 FPS on a cutscene isn't a thing, right? Okay. But of course, you got people who are just like, look at this guy. I remember a lot of people saying 30 FPS is unacceptable for gaming this current gen. No one ever said cutscenes were exempt from that. Because no one was talking about cutscenes. They're talking about gameplay. 60 FPS, 120 FPS. No one's talking about, oh, I get to do 120 FPS cutscenes. That's not a thing. When we're talking about FPS, it's always been about the smoothness of the gameplay. Cutscenes is whatever. 30 FPS cutscenes is fine because it's like, it's a cutscene. Hell, movies is at 24 FPS. Like it's like the cutscene motion thing is not a thing. But if, and I try to tell them this. People were talking gameplay because they were. And with me saying that, he should have been like, okay, but no, he doubles down. He says, no, they weren't. They generalized and simply said 30 FPS. No, they weren't. They generalized. They may have meant gameplay, but didn't say it. Right? So then I replied to him, it doesn't need to be said. You have PC games with cutscenes at 30 FPS, and you don't see a mass outcry of PC gamers demanding them to stop it. Why? Because no one cares. It was always about gameplay. Not everything needs to be spelled out for you. Let's see what he says now. They say gameplay shouldn't be 30 FPS. Don't generalize it all together. They didn't. They didn't. They didn't. Let me put, they didn't. All right. We're not going to spell. We're going to spell. Right here. We're not going to spell everything out for you. Okay. If you can't even see, if you can't even read between the lines for this, life is let's see. They didn't. We're not going to spell everything out for you. If you can't even read between the lines for this, then life is going to be very hard for you in more serious and demanding topics. I'll put situations and more demanding situations in life. Like, holy cow, bro. We're not going to spell everything out for you. If you can't even read between the lines for this, then life is going to be very hard for you in more serious and demanding situations in life. Like, bro. Like, come on. I guarantee even he played PC games. And he saw the cutscenes. At no point did he say, wait, what's this? I don't think this is 60 FPS. I gotta do something. I gotta mod. I'm gonna email the company. You don't see a mass hysteria over that shit. Do I look off center, don't I? Let me see. Let me go back. There you go. Oh, maybe it's just me. There we go. All right. Okay. You see what I'm saying? Like, what are we doing here? But anyway, so that's him. That's him. And everybody's like, oh, you could. That's him, right? So let's get this even fun. Let's see the fun in this one. So Heartache gets butthurt. Now, I'm not going to reply because, no cursing on the podcast, but he says, this corporate sucking forgot the power of PC. Every game you mentioned have mods to remove 30 FPS cap. And yes, having a cap to begin with is trash. I don't give a F what platform it's on. But thanks to PC, we have the option to fix dumb decisions from devs. You don't. So enjoy that 30 FPS. Okay. So, of course, when you come disrespectful at me, man, like, he knows who I am, bro. He knows. Shit, I remember the first time I showed up to Weapon Wheel. Homeboy thinks I'm D-Badge or what's the other dude's name? Dealer Gaming. Hell no. I live for the talk. I live for the trash talking. I live for it. So, of course, you know me. Of course, I'm not going to read it verbatim. But, of course, I have something to say, too. So I said, you're still acting like a whole something side B that got dumped after giving up the punani, where now you're crying over cussings. I spelled that wrong. Oh, shit. Anyway, Sony dumped your B ass. Get the F over it. HOE. Let me know when your piece of SC does for Sorrows. Since he's talking, I'm stuck at 30 FPS. Then you tell me how Sorrows turns out on your PC. Hashtag no slate. You filthy stomach laying. And I'm just gonna not say that word out loud. The nerve of this dude telling me enjoy that 30. Meanwhile, he gets to enjoy that donut. How are you going to talk trash over a 30 FPS cutscene when you got 0 FPS anything? Because the game's not on your platform. And sure, he could come out, I don't like Sorrows. Throw Wolverine. We'll throw Naughty Dog games. We'll throw when we get the God of War remastered, remake trilogies. Cory Barlog's new game. The list is not going to end. 0 FPS. No slate. Get over it, bro. Side piece syndrome's a mother. You gotta stop acting like a side piece. Listen, Sony dumped your ass. See, you trying to convince yourself your piece worth it. None of us care what you can do or can't do PC. It's not a new topic. The things that PC can do is decades old. It always could have done that. Mods, decades. Free online, decades. It's been around 20 plus, 30 plus years. Now you want to talk about 2026? You didn't talk about it 5 years ago. You didn't talk about it 4 years ago. Now all of a sudden you're bringing all this stuff up. Gee, why? Because you got dumped like a side piece. Listen, you're going through it like any side chick goes through it. Just get over it. Just move on. You'll be all right. You got a PlayStation anyway. Crying over something that you have access to. You'll be all right, dog. You'll be all right. Don't be going out like this, crying over cutscenes. Don't be doing that, man. You know you ain't modding, and you ain't modding nothing, bro. You ain't modding nothing. You're not modding something for 30. Don't care about that. Cut that out, bro. Cut that out. You'll be all right. You know what I'm saying? All up on the PlayStation derangement syndrome. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. What we got here? All right. So what we got? What are we doing? What are we doing? What are we talking about first? What's the first topic? All right. Hit the like button. Let me look at the chat first real quick. Appreciate everything. Chats. Holiday style. Listen, I got your thing. I'm trying to figure out how to give out those codes. I'm sorry I didn't get back to you. I got your message. I apologize. All right? I apologize about that because I know he has 2 codes to give out. He's asking me what's the best way to do it to make it fair. I'm there with you, brother. I'm there with you. All right? Shout out to everybody. Shout out to chat. Everybody's lying. Lying. Everybody's lying. Everybody's laughing. But my man really went deep on that one, bro. Like he jumped off the bridge. Yo, that is wild, bro. Over cutscene. Oh man, like yo, you can't. Like I never thought. The day I thought Hard 8 would be upset over a cutscene. Let's see. Oh, look at this guy. Look at this guy. Oh shit. He's still at it. Hold on. Oh man. Oh man, let me show y'all so you can enjoy yourselves. This guy, he just can't help himself. He says, but this is his thing. He's, here's him. Mm, mm, mm. Oh, I'm about to hurt his feelings. Forgive me. Damn. I don't think I could wait that shit. Let's see if I can shorten that up. I don't got premium no more. I saw that. Okay. And you know what? I could. Let me just get there. Let me take all that up. I mean, there's no one that knows more about. There we go. Oh, this is gonna hurt his feelings. I told you, bro. Don't do it, bro. Don't do it. Don't try to get personal with me. Listen, don't do it. I don't know why you do it. Don't do it, bro. I hurt feelings. I hurt feelings. I hurt feelings, bro. He's gonna go for it. Don't do it. Don't do it, bro. I'm much better at this than you ever will be. I'm much better at this than you ever will be. You ain't got the cards. You ain't got the cards. You ain't got the cards, bro. You ain't in the position. You ain't in the position. If you think your PC, he put you in the positive position, bro. Don't think that 5080 is gonna save you. That 5080 is not gonna save you, bro. It's just not gonna save you. There's no saving you from me. I'm just telling you, bro. Don't do it. I don't know why you're gonna try, Obi. Don't do it. Don't do it. You know, listen to Chaos Lounge. Don't do it. Don't do it. He's gonna keep trying. Good luck to you, brother, man. You ain't got the cards for this. You ain't got the cards for this. like I ain't like these others. I ain't like these other YouTubers. I can snap and crush a mofo real fast. Real fast. He's too used. Listen, bro. Hey, listen, bro. When you talk trash, you be talking trash to puppies. You out there spending all days frolicking with the puppies, but then you want to run with the wolf at night. That's not how it goes, bro. You ain't playing with puppies all day, and now you want to mess with the. I was about to curse. You want to mess with the wolf. Get out of here. I could do this all day. I will hurt your feelings. You're going to get your feelings hurt. Hurt? Hurt? You're going to get your feelings hurt. Don't play with me. Homeboy said, don't do it. It's a lose-lose battle. And you heard, but it's a rumor, man. I could hear him crying behind the keyboard. It's a rumor. It's not confirmed. I could hear him crying, the tears down his cheeks. Homeboy got a 5080, think he was gonna play the best version, and only to end up with no slate. You better play them Fuda games. Hit up Alex. He could let you know them PC exclusives you can enjoy. Now, keep in mind, if you play Escape from Fuda Prison, it might bring back some tough memories. Might get, might bring back your time in prison. If you go play Escape from Fuda Prison. So you might want to stay away from that one. You don't want to relapse and shit. I'm just saying. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. I'm just putting it out there. All right. Oh, this is lovely. This is gonna be a lovely day. And listen, it's just people already laughing. Oh man. And people already laughing. All right, he did it to himself, and for what? For a cutscene, bro. Listen, it's over. Let's go back to this conversation right here. So I saw this on Twitter. I saw a Pirate Nation says PC is now the only major gaming platform where more than half of the revenue comes from games outside the top 20. Newzoo's latest Western market data shows PC titles ranked 21 plus capture 56% of revenue in 2025, up from 48% in 2022. Consoles remain stuck at around 35, 38. This is the strength comes from Steam's discovery tools, indie hits, mods, and strong backlog catalog sales that keep thousands of smaller and older games profitable. PC is the most diverse gaming market today. So I saw this and I'm like, okay, this is just a PC fanboy popping up, but the data's real. But I'm thinking, you know what? You know me, bro. Listen, y'all know who I am. Y'all know who I do. You know who I am, right? You wanna know who I am? Do y'all believe who I am? Let's see. Let's see if I got this. Let's see. Can I do this? Okay. You know who I am? Y'all know who I am. I'm the professor. And I got the report, dog. Tendonism. I'm like that dude, tendonism. Fall off the bone. Tendonism. Tendonism. You guys think I'm gonna let y'all slide without showing the source? You know, I'm probably at least in this community. Maybe there's some bigger YouTubers and whatever, but at least like within the console war circle or the media family circle, I think I'm still the only one that will present that actual thing to you guys. Am I the only one? Like, you know what? I don't want to totally take credit from anyone that does. And what I mean by show you the whole thing, I'm showing the whole report, not a snippet, not a screenshot, not a what's the word? You know, a summarization. Like the actual straight to the source product. I do that all the time. I always liked presenting, if I'm able to get it, the true full source of any product. I always done that on my channel. I always done that on the channel because we could look at it together. We could read it together. Because sometimes you could read a product, right? And when you have multiple people look at it, you can have different opinions or different interpretations, whatever, some things, especially if it's very complex. But I always, if I can, and I'm able to, show you the full scope. Every time I did of the Sony, quarterly things, when I do it, I always show you the full slide deck, you know? But I don't see a lot of people doing that anymore. Is there anyone that still does that, chat? Because I don't want to take away credit from people, right? And I'm not talking about like just a screenshot or one slide. I'm talking like they present the full report. Like, here's the report, and now we're going to go through it. Sure, we could skim some pages, right? Some pages could be like, all right, not really, whatever. But they present the full report, not just a copy or one screen slide or a compilation of stuff that they do, right? Is there any other content creator that does that? Yeah, most present parts, right? And they present you the parts you want to see. Now, I'm not going to talk about every side. I mean, I could, depending, but not every side we talked about. But this is the report, right? Now, I can't hand it out, but you can get this for free. I could send the link out where you could get it for free. And I know, and even though it says, ¿cómo se dice? Even though it says, work email, you don't have to use your work email. Right? You don't have to work your news email. Let's see. No, hold on. Where's that? Give me a second. Where's that? Let me get it. Let me where's the report? Okay, here we go. All right, here we go. Let me show you on the screen. So this is it right here. I'm gonna put this in the chat. All right, here it tells you where to fill out your name. You just put any email, and you could put any name, and you can make up it. Like all this, you can make up. There's like there is no person that's gonna review and deny it. It's all auto generated. Just put an email in that you have access to. Put whatever name. Put any. Just you have to fill it out, but just put whatever. There you go. and then they're like literally you get it like in 10 seconds and you get the report. It's free, but there is some stipulations. You know, you can't republish the report yourself. Just be careful how you distribute it. All right, just be careful how you distribute it and stuff like that. Just, you know, um, where we at? Okay. Oh shit. I didn't even show you. Oh my god. Oh my god. I need a third screen, man. I really need a third screen. I need a third screen. I need a third screen. I, I'm here talking, showing you the screen, but you were looking at my face the whole time. Hold on. I'll put it back up. Everybody's looking at me like this guy's a fucking dumb. Oh, I cursed. I'm gonna have a curse jar. Where's it at? Come on, come on. PC, Nuzu, PC 2026 report. Here we go. Here we go. All right. All right, here we go. Back on the screen. Now I'll put it back on the screen. There you go. All right. We all see it now, right? We all see it? Okay, cool. Let me zoom in. So right here, you fill out your information. Just put any email. You could put any name. Write any company name. You could put whatever job title. Just select anything here. You know, it doesn't matter. Select whatever department, you know, and then get the report and you'll get it. Um, you know, it's not one of those like it's not like one of those they have to verify that it's an actual work email or anything. It's not that serious, right? So you'll get access to the report. I'll put the link in if you're interested. All right. So let's go through this real quick. Um, let me hold on. Let me see where I'm at right now. Okay, got another link for that. It's not working. Let me click on the link. Yeah. So the link I put in the chat, it goes directly to the report. SPR is not working. Oh, oh, so you have another link to direct the report. Okay, so hey everybody, SPR, he put a link where you get the report directly. So you could bypass that. So you don't even have to use my link. You just got access to it, man. Shout out to you, SPR. Good shit. Goodish. Appreciate it. All right, so let's go here. So right here is the table of contents, right? Market trajectory. What direction is the PC and console market heading in 2026? Attention, value allocation. Where do players spend time and money on PC and console? Market concentration. What happens if you are not a top 20 game? And business model viability. Which monetization models perform best under current dynamics? All right. Let me skim through this. This is a lot. PC and console market is not in a decline, but is no longer the growth engine it once was. Just a lot of stuff talking about here. Pretty much like the prelude to talking about. The key takeaways, market trajectory. PC growth remains structurally supported with steady player expansion underpinning sustained revenue growth. Console growth has returned, but remains premium and cycle-driven as hardware momentum and major releases lift spend despite limited player expansion. Regional dynamic reinforces the split. Growth markets are driving player skill, especially on PC, often at lower ARPU. Right? ARPU is I forgot what that stands for. Hold on. ARPU. What is ARPU? Average revenue per user. There we go. There you go. So ARPU is average revenue per user. Okay, so PC has lower average revenue per user, while mature markets continue to generate higher console spend but face lower demographic expansion. So in this one, the key takeaway for here is so PC is rapidly expanding per user, and we're going to see which region, right? But there's a growth of more users adopting PC, but they spend less money. While console doesn't have that rapid expansion of users, but the users that are there spend more money. So it's literally two opposite dynamics for this. Okay. Attention and value allocation. Global playtime has remained flat, with the top 20 titles still taking up over 50% of playtime. This share is shrinking, most notably on PC. So PC is losing share on playtime. All right, we'll see more details on that. AAA-driven genres, shooters, battle royales, and sports are seeing structural decline, with growth segments like Sandbox not fully absorbing lost hours. Sandbox audience are less likely to play AAA games, especially annual sports and story-led single-player. Playtime share to new releases remains stable. Breakout hit audiences are less likely to overlap with annualized sports franchise. Breakout hit audiences are less likely to overlap. We'll see more details on that. Market concentration. Titles ranked 21 plus. So titles ranked 21 plus. It sounds weird, but what they're trying to say is titles that are out of the top 20. So games that are ranked 21, 22, 30, 40, 50, that's 21 plus. So games that are out of the top 20 of sales and stuff like that, okay, are capturing a growing share of playtime, with PC showing the strongest shift since 2022. PC's long tail keeps widening. PlayStation remains more franchise concentrated, and Xbox long tail benefits from Gamepass discovery. Shifting playtime share more than total hours. Damn. Let me do it this way. I should have done it this way, right? Here you go. Sorry about that. Enduring winners tend to be premium, progression heavy titles with strong back catalog performance, not just breakout launches, with RPG and adventure over indexing. Okay. And then finally, we're going to hear the last column, business viability. Here we go. Business model viability, playtime is down, but premium revenue is growing across major Western markets. Premium revenue is growing on PC and PlayStation, while Xbox more modest growth can't offset free-to-play and Call of Duty declines. Ooh, Xbox is declining free-to-play and Call of Duty. Interesting. PC is the only platform monetizing free-to-play effectively. Revenue held stable despite falling playtime in the West. On console, free-to-play revenue is dropping faster than engagement. Are we seeing the end of free-to-play? Are we seeing the demise of live service games? Is the live service game bubble finally about to pop? Y'all forget PlayStation Nation. Don't forget, there's still a civil war between us single players and you multiplayer guys. Now I'm playing. All right, let's get back to it. Here we go. Premium growth is driven by sub $50 games. The $30 segment leads across platforms. Sub $30 thrives on PC via breakout hits, breakout indies. So indies, okay. So that's it. So let's see the next one. These are the authors. All right. Good job, guys. I'm proud of you. Written by Newzoo Market Announced, powered by data on our platform. Nah, I'm good. And Newzoo works with 80% of the top developers: Microsoft, Sony, Google, Take-Two, NetEase, Warner Brothers, Roblox, PlayOn, I have no idea, Team 17, Crafting, Capcom, Embracer Group, Bandai, Nexon, Activision Blizzard, Sup-Erk-L, never heard of them, SNK, Property Monsters, Wargaming Net, 2K. Doesn't 2K fall under Take-Two though? Anyway, Mixie, Nvidia, Gameloft, Nordisk Games, Konami, and all that, right? So we got a good representation. I don't see Nintendo here, of course not. Anna Perna, okay. Anyway, these are the people. Market trajectory. What direction is the PC and console market heading? All right, let me go here. I'll move this over here. Overview. In this section, we examine the scale and trajectory of global PC and console market. We analyze revenue trends. All right, so this is like the metric overview. This is key definitions, revenue, PC, console. Okay. Let's see. All right. So over here, post 2020 plateau is ending. Steady PC growth and console recovery. PC and console software revenues in the billions. So, hold on. Ooh, went too fast. Okay. So I guess this is what? Combined revenue? Not separated. So from 2015 to 2019, PC up 0.8%, console up 8.9%. 2020 to 24, PC went up 3.9%, but console went down 2.1%. Okay. And then here, the forecast from 2025, 2026, 27, 2028, PC up 6.6%, console 4.4%. Okay. And let's see the next slide. All right. Steam led PC growth compound structurally and is set to surpass console revenue by 2028 as console relies on blockbuster releases. PC and console software revenues in the billions. Interesting. Now, let's go right here. Let's start in this bottom. You see this right here? This is important. It says PC. Eastern Asian led global user base expansion. So PC's expansion, and I think everybody said this, but now we got the data, is primarily Asia driven. And we're going to talk about this. Asia driven. That's where the big, and you're going to see how big PC gaming is in Asia as compared to the West. A lot of people in the Western audience like, oh, PC's big, PC's big. It's compared to the other side of the hemisphere. But it did say, though, growing Gen Z and Gen Alpha share of total PC players, higher average selling prices, Valve's ecosystem deepening beyond its storefront. And then over here for consoles, you got Nintendo Switch 2 and first-party strength, broad premium slate and major releases like GTA 6, higher premium subscription pricing, Gen 10 cycle timing, 2027, 2028, but limited growth player. All right. So if you look here, the light blue is PC, and like the purplish one is console gaming. So from 2015, this is like revenue in the billions, right? It caps out at 55 billion here at the top. If you see it right here, but if you look at it, 2015, we'll go slowly. 2015 PC, slight edge PC, console revenue surpassed PC revenue 2017. So this is when PlayStation really got a good amount of sales, and really that's when PlayStation was really shining. And then Nintendo Switch came out this year. Then 2018 console really blew. It was blown. Go back. Shit. All right, go back. Oh, here we go. Gotta make sure I don't hit just click the button, right? Console went up. 2019 console. 2020 console really ballooned past PC. 2021, 2022, right? 2020, even 2024. I don't know why they did a 2025 future forecast. Well, then again, it's April. Maybe they don't have the data for 2025. But 2025, 2026, 2027, console still doing more. 2028 is when they predict surpassing console. Interesting. Surpassing console. Interesting. Now, the one thing is this. I'll say this. And people think Sony should make a PlayStation Store on PC. Like, what are we doing here? Shout out to Glassdoor Gamer. Console gamers have always been the big mainstream game whales. PC malfunction race has to find obscure stats and quotes to feel better. Yeah, that's why I'm doing this, right? But think about it. Steam is PC gaming, pretty much. It has the majority of PC gamers on it. Who's going to create a store to compete on it? I mean, Epic Game Store is still losing money. Epic Game Store is not profitable. So people think Sony, and keep in mind, Sony has shares in Epic, so they know how the store is doing. So people think Sony's going to invest time and money to manage a storefront on PC just so they could play first-party games. Like, some of these PC gamers are dumb as hell. They're not gonna create a store. It's a business where it's an automatic revenue loss with no potential of ever making money off it. Ever. Absolutely ridiculous. And I'm glad we have this data to see that. Let's see the next thing. Right here, Steam-driven PC growth pushes players past 1 billion, while console growth moderates in mature cycles. All right, so yearly player growth per platform. So PC has huge player growth, as you can see, like dramatic. Console's modest. So let me zoom in the numbers here. So you can see, over time, this is 2022, 2023, 2024, 2025 projected. So PlayStation. So 2028 console will still be under 700 million, while PC is in the billion already, right? Huge thing. But there's going to be more to that. There's context to that. And this is the context right here. In 2025, player PC wins on player scale. Console leads in average user spend, showing major regional difference. So we're going to go to the regional difference. Right here. This is where it's at, right here. So you can see this. Let's go to the comment right here. It says right here, China, Tencent NetEase dominate engagement and revenue. This is for PC. North America, mature high average revenue per unit market with strong premium uptake. South Korea, publisher concentration Nexon, RPG heavy engagement mix. Europe, structurally PC oriented with deep legacy engagement. But look at this. So in this chart right here, right, this is the money side, right at the left column, right? This is the average revenue per spend, and these are like, this gives you an idea with the regions and stuff, right? And then the bottom, the x-axis, is the player base. Look how far China is. 20 to 300 million. And look where the US is at in terms of PC gaming, under 100 million. So around 80 to 90 million. That's where they're at. With an average user spend of, let's say, $100 per user. Okay. South Korea has the highest average revenue per user spend. So South Koreans spend the most money in PC gaming, while China has the most players in PC gaming. United States has like the second most in player spend and the amount of players. So United States has like the average of, player spend and whatever. But China is so far ahead in how many players they are. Like, this is ridiculous. Brazil, barely, really low. So PC game is not much of a thing. Really low stuff, right? Okay, so now we got that, all right? So we can see Asia, that's where, like, especially China, PC grew primarily with that audience. Okay, so we're going to go to the console side. This right here is the console side now. Okay, now as you can see, the map and everything's different, but we're going to read this. North America, highest ARPU, least platform skewed ecosystem. Western Europe, PlayStation-led mix, multi-ecosystem strength. Japan, number 2 by revenue, switch to tailwind despite weaker Japanese yen. China, growing premium spend, switch to gray market, PS5 momentum. So here, in the United States, console dominates. Look how far console has ahead right here, right? So now, even though it's a difference of scale, so when it comes to consoles, we'll compare United States to United States. There's about 90 million PC, but about 125 million consoles gamers. You see? So console market is bigger in the United States than PC gaming. That's what this data is showing, right? And console gamers at around 160. If we center it about $155, $160 per user compared to PC gamers, who's about $90. So in the US, more console gamers, and we spend more money. United Kingdom, I think some using in the UK. Here's the UK for PC. You guys are, your guys maybe like at 20 million, 30, not even halfway. Halfway would be 25 million. Would be like right around here. You're under here. So you're like at 15 million, give or take, right? And your spend is about $60 per user. Meanwhile, in the UK console, you guys are about 25 million or so players with a spend of $140. So console gaming dominates in the UK. It looks like console gaming dominates in Germany and in Canada and definitely in Japan. So I would say, let's see, Italy. Where's Italy at in this map? In the PC map. I don't even see Italy. Italy's not even on the map. Italy's not even there. Italy's not even, they don't even really care about PC like that. We got Spain. Spain is not on the map. France is on the map. But it seems like console has the edge, especially in users. But so for the most part, Europe spends more money in console gaming. And it seems like there's a bigger population. Canada. Let's look at Canada real quick. Canada, this is PC side. They're about $55 in spend. But they're about like what? This is halfway is 50. This is zero. So you're talking maybe 10 million PC gamers, 8 million, right? But then in the console side, this is the 10 million mark, and kind of just past that. So it's more than 10 million at about $110 to spend. So there's more console gamers, and they spend more money than PC gamers, right? So this whole thing's really offset because of China, man. China really, and then who knows what other countries, but China really gave PC gamers a huge edge in this one. You know? Now, there's a piece of information I'm gonna show y'all. Give me a second. Hold on. Here you go. Something that you guys need to know, all right, about China. I know people don't know this, and I'm gonna put this on the screen so that way you guys can know. All right. Let me make sure you guys can see it. So, PC's dominance in China was pretty much created not through competition. It wasn't a competitive situation. It wasn't a situation where there's competition between PC and console and PC won. It was pretty much the default choice. It was pretty much created. Um, Shout out to Major Claridge. Thank you for the membership. Someone received another membership. So shout out to you. Thank you so much. And then we got, what else we got here? We got thank you for the super chat, brother. Thank you, Major Claridge. Thank you for super chat. And we got J Hart. PC gamers flipped from saying the real money is on PC to PC gamers are frugal and console gamers are pay pigs. You know, like a week. Yo, they really have no stance. Most gamers don't stand 10 toes on their stuff. That's the truth, right? But like to what I was saying, let me show you this, right? Again, the growth of PC in China isn't because of competition. And PC Gamer says, you know, Chinese gamers in China said, oh, PC is the better platform. We're going to play on PC instead of console. No. Consoles was banned in China, right? Here's what it is. China previously banned video game consoles for 15 years, right? This ban was fully lifted in July 2015. While physical hardware for major manufacturers like Sony, Microsoft, and Nintendo is now legal to sell, the industry remains heavily regulated through strict content censorship and youth playtime restrictions. Okay? The 2000 ban. The Chinese government banned the production, import, and sale of video game consoles in 2000. The move was driven by parental concerns that digital heroin was causing addiction, harming the mental and physical development of children. Okay, let's stop right there. I want you to think about this. In 2000, China banned consoles. So really there was a gray market, black market of underground console sales, but nothing to truly mature the market. But think about it. This was 26 years ago, but think about the year 2000 and how impactful. Think about what gamers in China missed out on as part of the community, of the global community. They didn't get a PlayStation 2, which is the Godfather, which is like the greatest console of all time, arguably. Imagine like no PlayStation 2 in your country. And then on top of that, no GameCube, no OG Xbox, with the birth of Xbox Live. They didn't go through any of that. No Devil May Cry, no Metal Gear Solid 2, Final Fantasy X, no Grand Theft Auto 3. Think of your favorite games on the PlayStation 2, GameCube, and OG Xbox. I want y'all to reflect on that right now. And think about all the gamers whose first consoles was the PlayStation 2 or the OG Xbox or the GameCube. Think about, I want everybody to just type in right now, if you lived in China, what would be he fucking Doc Dark is stupid. He said, brother, I'm here to say you do not look 50. I appreciate it. Even though I'm not 50 yet, but I appreciate it. Just, Doc is wild, bro. Doc, let me know if you want to hop on. I know it's been a minute, man. It's been a long time since you hopped on, man. You know, but I hope that helped you on your tweet and gave you the answer. I know everybody's giving you bullshit. The whole, you know, is this a gaming PC? You know, I know King Thrash is calling it a podcast PC, and you guys are trying to say it's a gaming PC. Listen, Doc, I think I was the only one that gave you the true answer. It's an Xbox. Bro, they be coming at our age, bro. Yo, they hating, bro. They hating. They're young. They're broke. I can't blame them. You know, life is hard for the young folks now. Rent's expensive. They can't buy a house. You know, they don't know how to cook. You know, they can't get a girlfriend. They're afraid to get a girlfriend. They listen to Fresh and Fit podcast. Life is hard for you young folks. I feel bad for you guys. You know, growing up in the 80s, 90s, in the early 2000s was the best era ever. We didn't go through the drama, you guys. You guys have it bad. You know what I'm saying? Yo, that gift I use is the best gift ever, Doc. Like, I had never go. Once I saw that, they have the worst music. It's not even real hip hop. Like, and stuff. Proto, you ain't for the know on. You know what's funny? You guys should know what my age is. That's what's funny. It's like literally in my name. That's what's funny. It's like, you know, when people are like, man, you're 50, and I'm like, man, motherfuckers are dumb. Like, it's literally like in the name. You can figure it out with math. It's just like it's in the name this whole time. It was in a C. My man said, oh, 77. Like, what is wrong with you guys? It was always there. Like, now you figure it out? It was always there. It was always there. My man said 1985 is my PIN number, ATM PIN number. Like, yo, it was always there. Like, y'all telling me since 2016, y'all never put 2 and 2 together? Yo, it was always there. What do you thought 77 meant? I thought it was for Cyberpunk 2077? I haven't even played the game yet. I haven't even played the shit yet. I was like, yo, like, it was always there. Oh, y'all thought it was a variation of the joke 6-7. You thought I knew that was coming back in 2016? I can't make. That's why, yo, for like 5-6 years, oh, you're 50, you're 50. And I'm like, see, he got it. I'm 77 years old. Exactly. Duh. I played. That's what's funny. I'm like, yo, these people like really can't like how old are you? 50? And I'm like, it's like Puertorock77. I mean, it's always been there for a while now. I don't know. That's always fun. But anyway, back to that. But that water reflection. Doc, let me know. Hit me up in the chat. Let's see. If you want to jump out real quick, just let me know because I'm not paying attention to the Discord room. But it's there. If you do, let me know. But so China bans console. Now I want you. This is the question I want to ask you guys. He says you look young. You know what I'm saying? Listen, you're 48, not 50 PR. Bingo. You know, bingo. Now listen. Think about this. Imagine if you lived in China and you never had access. I'm folding laundry for real. This guy's always in the laundry room, bro. He's always in the laundry room. When you're ready, hit me up, right? Or hit me up in a text on the phone so I can see it pop up, right? Just in case. But I want you to guys picture this. You're in China, right? Alternate universe, and you never had access to a PlayStation 2, GameCube, or Xbox, OG Xbox. Tell me right now, what games are you missing out on? Think of the games you love from that era, But now, since you didn't have access to that, what would be the games you miss? What would be like, damn, I would have never been able to play this game or this game. I want to see some of your, multiverse horror stories. What are some of the games that you think on if you played in that era that you could be like, damn, you mean to tell me I wouldn't have been able to play Metal Gear Solid 2 or this game? I'm interested in seeing some of the games that come to mind. GTA 3, Vice City, San Andreas. My man said Grand Theft Auto. Onimusha on PS2. Yep, you wouldn't have been playing that. No Grand Theft Autos. I don't know what that is, Silver Wolf. Ocarina of Time. That's N64 though. Did you mean Wind Waker? Final Fantasy 7. That's PS1. Yeah, I got your generations mixed up. No Jade Empire. Good one. Yeah, I played that on my Xbox. I don't understand the question. All right. So in 2000, China banned consoles. That means starting 2000, they didn't have access to consoles anymore. So think of that year, the consoles that came out. We're talking, you could say Dreamcast as well, but Dreamcast came out in 99, but let's assume Dreamcast. So Dreamcast, PlayStation 2, GameCube, OG Xbox. Those are the 4 consoles. So imagine in an alternate universe, you live in China and you didn't have those consoles. What would be the games that you love and played on any of those consoles that you would miss? Killzone, Dead to Rights, Infamous is PlayStation 3. Max Payne, The Suffering. I forgot about the Skyrim. It's PlayStation 3. Soulcom's good. Final Fantasy X. But technically speaking, all right, if you want to include PlayStation 3, because the ban was already out to 2015. So let's include PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3, OG Xbox, Xbox 360, Wii, GameCube, Dreamcast. Fine. All of those. Resident Evil 4. KOTOR was on Xbox. Scarface. Scarface is underrated. Code Veronica. That did end up on PlayStation 2, I think. Yeah. Sly series, Spider-Man 2. Yeah, the old one. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Uncharted. On the PlayStation 3, yep. GTA 4. Siphon Filter. Mario Zelda Sonic Halo. Ninja Gaiden on the OG Xbox. Ninja Gaiden Black. Uncharted was a fit. So we're including PS3 now. Because technically that was also banned. PS3, Xbox 360, and the Wii. If you guys... Manhunt, man. They need to remake that game. That would be awesome now. Soul Calibur 2, Heavenly Sword. Deuce X. Def Jam Fight for New York. Absolutely. Ico, Shadow of the Colossus, Resistance, God of War franchise, Bully. Capcom versus Marvel. Man, there's some great games. Def Jam was fire. There's some great games. Darkness. Jackie Estacado. Why can't they make a movie on that? I would love a Darkness movie. Darkness 1 and 2, man. Crazy Taxi, Ready to Rumble, Code Veronica, Manhunt, Sonic Heroes, Super Mario Sunshine, Inside Drive, BMX. Like, what about Twisted Metal Black, Devil May Cry, Lost Planet, The Bouncer, Jet Li, Rise of Honor, L.A. Noire. The Warriors? Y'all played on the PlayStation 2? Black. Silent Assassin. True Crime Series. Guy Hand. Saboteur. I remember that. Enter the Matrix. How about the other one, Neo? When they actually made the Neo one. Metal Gear Solid 2 and 3. That's right, Snake Eater. Guns of the Patriots. Infamous. The Last of Us was... Yeah, The Last of Us on the PlayStation 3. Grand Theft Auto 5. And The Last of Us. Power Stone. The Punisher. Yeah. Matrix. Path of Neo. Spider-Man 2 the movie. Uncharted 2. Uncharted 3. right? Gears of War, Riddick, Batman, Arkham Asylum, Battlefield Bad Company, Final Fantasy 12, Jade Empire, Arkham. Yeah, like what are we naming? Okay, so Leo, what we're doing is Japan. If you look at the screen, I think I still have it up. Let me put it. Japan banned consoles in 2000. So for 15 years, they couldn't get consoles unless it was like the black market or whatever. So what I'm saying is, if you lived in an alternate universe where you grew up in China and you didn't have access to the consoles that came out between 2000 and 2015, so we're talking PlayStation 2, GameCube, OG Xbox, PlayStation 3, Xbox 360, Dreamcast, Wii, all those consoles, what games would you have missed out on that you normally was able to play? Name all those great games. Let me see. Oh, somebody says a morning show would be great, especially for us that work in the AM. I do casework and would love to listen to gaming talk. We only got Reforge in the AM, so we need to have more shows. Okay. All right. Thank you. And Indigo Prophecy. Oh, I love that game. Um, I think it was in other places they called it Fahrenheit. Yeah, different. I don't know what they called it here. Did they call it Indigo Prophecy here, or was it called Fahrenheit? I think it was called Fahrenheit in America. Great game. Rainbow Six, Pikmin, Legacy of Kain, Splinter Cell. Like let's Tony Hawk. So as you can see, the Bioshock 1, 2, and Infinite. He said that's prison. What do you mean he said that's prison? What was that? What? Major, what's going on? What? You lost got that one. What's going on here? What are we doing? What the fuck? That's what you're talking about. Look at. Hey, my man said, look. He just right here. We still talking prison jokes, and you came up with a whole something scenario in your mind. Pause. You really are F word, literally. Yeah, you're not worth another tweet. I heard his feelings. I heard his feelings. now, now he has to see his therapist. You know. Don't you, player? You did. Don't do it. I love it. Ah, I'm so. All right, let's go back. All right, so let me go back to the. Let me go back to the point I was making. So we saw all these games. Look at all the great games you guys mentioned. Great memories. Just great stuff, right? All that stuff. Let's see what happened. Oh, I see. I got some more viewer activity. Let's see what we got here. We got Marco81 says China closed their stock market twice mid crash, saying they control everything is a huge underestimate. Oh, yeah, they don't play. It's crazy. That's just how it is over there. Gordo P23 with a super chat. P-Rock, you had a beard in your last video. You should have kept it and carried around a little brush. You would give Doc Dark a run for his money. just me and Doc doing beard wars. Is that what you're saying? me and Doc doing beard wars. Oh man, you know what it is. It itches, man, and it just oh my god. I just be like this, bro. It just itches, and I just can't get past that. Like, listen, I've been shaving for 29 years, like straight. I used to have a mustache, but then I started shaving that, and then I just kept it all off. But I'd be like now my face feels, whoo, I don't know what it is, man. But I did have a beard, just grow a goatee. Here's the thing though. I was thinking of bringing the mustache back, but I'm thinking, man, maybe I don't know. It's one thing me having a nice clean mustache when I was young, but I don't want like a pedo stash. You know what I mean? Looking like a weirdo. I'm gonna say looking like a goatee. Get a goatee, looking like the guy for Breaking. I end up looking like the guy from Breaking Bad. All right, but anyway, let's just go back to what I was saying. Anyway, but back to what I'm saying is, look at all the content and the games and great memories you guys mentioned. The gamers in China never had that, so they for 15 years they never built that momentum of amazing titles that we got to enjoy that helped prop up gaming. You know what that is. Can y'all remember the first day Grand Theft Auto 3 came out and how that changed the game for console gaming? And these games were not on PC. A lot of the games you mentioned were not on PC at the time, man. They were console exclusives. Some of them were just exclusive to a specific console, and they were just big phenoms in gaming. Consoles brought up some of the biggest phenoms in gaming, and China missed out on all of that. The only platform that they had was really PC gaming. The only mainstream platform that was easily accessible was PC. Console was not there, right? So what I was saying was like that changes everything. So a lot of this data, especially this right here, right? When we oh my god, went too far. Here we go. Especially this right here, this disparity in how much China adopted PC versus here adopting consoles is literally because of 15 years of gamers in China not having access to consoles, some of the biggest names. They didn't develop those memories like we had. They didn't get those big day one blockbusters that were only available on console at a low price. And now a lot of gamers are like, oh yeah, I'm a console gamer. I'm a console gamer. No, they were pretty much forced to PC. So that's just an interesting outlook on that one. Let me see. Let me get any interactive. Marco says, P Rock and Doc Dark, Wednesday mornings. Two Beards podcast. Oh my god. Bruh. Can you imagine both of us, like for the whole morning, we're just like this? you know? Be like, this podcast is sponsored by Beard Oil. Want to keep your beard nice and nourished? Beard oil. me and Doc peddling beard oil. We can't peddle Diddy oil because Craig got that shit unlocked, so we're gonna peddle beard oil. Oh shit. We're gonna be peddling beard oil and we're gonna be like this all day. You're gonna see it nice and glistening. And then when you see the grays come in, we're gonna show you how to darken it with Just for Men, 5 minutes. We're also gonna get sponsored by Just for Men. Just 5 minutes. Just for men. Manscaped. There you go, Manscaped partnership. Oh man, this is hilarious. All right. Okay, so that's okay. So that's a good thing to look at. Let's see, what's this? All right. So this is a good one right here. This is a good chart because you can see that in 2025, this was based on projection, right? But this is probably the average number. You can see both platforms, the console and the PC revenue, are over 40 million, with console being slightly ahead this year by 2 billion. All right, 45 billion versus 43 billion. But the breakdown is very different. For PC, if you look at their breakdown, the majority of their revenue, 48%, is from microtransactions. $20 billion in microtransaction, right? And then the next part of the pie is premium games, 12 billion, then downloadable content, 8.5 billion, and then subscriptions, the lowest part. So subscriptions not very a big part of PC gaming. It's just not. But now when you look at the console, it's different, especially between premium microtransactions. For console, 50% of the revenue is premium games. Then comes microtransactions at 27% with 12 billion. Subscriptions is third at 18% with $8 billion in subscriptions. So consoles are very subscription based, which makes sense because PC doesn't have subscriptions for online while consoles do. And then finally, downloadable content is at 2.2 billion, which is, let's see, downloadable content on PC is much bigger, 8.5 versus console, right? So the two biggest factors for console and PC is flip-flopped. On PC, it's microtransactions being number one, premium number two, but in console, premium games is number one, and microtransactions number two. Okay. So PC gamer, when it comes to free-to-plays and transactions, they do it the best. But for consoles, it's all about those day one blockbuster titles. Those premium titles. Okay. All right. Let's go through here. This talks about market trajectory. Let's see what it says here. It says forecast for 100 markets with revenue players. So this is just, okay, so this is extended analysis. Okay, market trajectory, summary. After 5 years of stagnation, revenue growth has returned, but is being driven by structural divergence across platforms rather than broad engagement. For number one, we'll be here right here. PC growth is structural. Wait, did I go back? Okay, yeah. Okay, I'm good. PC growth is structural and scale-led. Global PC revenue is projected to surpass console by 2028, supported by Eastern Asian-led player expansion and a growing Gen Z and Alpha cohort that strengthens long-term engagement and ecosystem depth. So, big part, Asian level. We saw the map. Console growth has returned, but it's monetization and cycle-driven. Revenue is lifted by blockbuster releases, hardware momentum, and higher premium subscription pricing, while player growth remains limited. So lower player growth. And regional dynamics reinforce the split. Emerging markets are driving player scale, especially on PC, often at lower average revenue per unit, while mature markets such as North America and Japan continue to generate higher console spend but face lower demographic expansion. I think, and this is my opinion, especially from the PlayStation front, because I think two things really impact this. Number one, Xbox is dog shit. As much as we talk shit, when Xbox 360 was at its height, and when OG Xbox introduced Xbox Live, they were huge. They were contributors to the overall market, especially 360, having 80 million consoles sold. Xbox Live was a hit. Xbox 360 was a huge contributor to the console market. Then things started floundering with the Xbox One, and now we have Xbox Series console and Game Pass. While it probably boosted subscription spend, premium title sales probably dropped on that platform. So, and now that the console probably not even going to be a traditional console anymore, it's going to go PC. It's a chunk of the market where we had 3 consoles, and now we're pretty much going off of 2 primarily, right? Nintendo and PlayStation, right? I think one big factor that could get the console growth up and console adoption is literally the easiest answer. Games. Games is always the answer. Games is always the answer, right? Games is always the answer. You release big blockbuster titles, right? And people are like, man, I got to get this console for these games. More people are going to buy it. Even the people who didn't buy it originally, eventually they're gonna see games and they're gonna want to jump on it because they don't want to miss out, right? I think PlayStation putting games on PC kind of added to this PC growth because we've seen it. We've seen it over the last 2-3 years. Oh, I don't need to buy PlayStation games day one. I could wait. And PC gamers are serious when they say they wait. And we're going to see that as we talk more about this. They'll wait. So PlayStation gamers are eventually coming to PlayStation, probably added to that, right? Nintendo stood strong with their exclusives, true exclusives, and PlayStation's going back with true exclusives. They need to stay there. So at least they're fixing that trajectory. They're fixing that situation, going back to true exclusives. But I still think PlayStation has a huge operations problem, which is output of games. And only because it's taking longer to make games. And they didn't do anything about it. They didn't do anything to offset the amount of time it makes a game. Games coming out 5 to 6 years takes takes a while for a studio, and given a gen is like around 7 years, that's really one game per gen before you start. Unless you were able to launch a game in the beginning of the year, then you get one more game. Sony needs to offset that, right? Now, of course, the long term answer is tools and AI. They're gonna try to use all that to cut down thing. But I think that's just a hopeful prayer because they don't want to spend more money. They don't want to invest, And I don't. And the fact that PlayStation invested 3.6 billion dollars in Marathon, well, Bungie, and we ended up getting Marathon, which is a game we would have gotten anyway. I don't think they have room to be like, oh, we got to watch how we spend. You already screwed up. You spent a lot of money on things that really wasn't necessary for PlayStation to begin with. It didn't really fix any problems, and it didn't anticipate any problems that would needed to be fixed. Sony didn't invest in the obvious problem they were going to face, which is less games from their studios because it takes longer to develop. They should have put even half of the $3.6 billion towards their first party studios to build them up, give them more teams so they could take on more projects at the same time, or, what's staggering. So that way each development studio that has 2 or 3 teams can release 2 or 3 games in a generation. Insomniac is the perfect example. Insomniac is GOAT. That is the blueprint. Sony needs to invest in their studios to be like Insomniac. Insomniac, we got right off the bat, Miles Morales. Then the next year, Ratchet and Clank. Then 2 years later, Spider-Man. And now we're going to get Wolverine. That's GOAT right there. We need that methodology across their studios, right? That's the methodology we need. And it doesn't have to be big blockbuster title. Like, for example, take Housemarque. Housemarque, they're not making $200 billion games. Their games probably doesn't cost that much. But they can have another team making a modest $50 million game, whatever. We don't have to wait 6 years for the next Housemarque-centric game, right? Let's say going back in time, if they would have got Sorrows with 2 development teams and they would have been making their games, we could have gotten Returnal in 2021 and we probably could have gotten Sorrows in 2023 because they would have been developing both games at the same time, and one is already done and then the next game only needed an extra year or two. But instead, Sorrows didn't start development until after or just about towards the end of Returnal. You understand what I'm saying? That's why it's coming out in 2026, because they needed 5 years. But what if both games were being worked on already? Or let's say Sorrows began development a year after Returnal began development, or 2 years after Returnal began development. We would have gotten Sorrows 2 years ago. You see what I'm saying? And while Sorrows being developed, a new third game would be developed. That's what Sony needs to figure out. Okay, so let's see what else we go through here. Let me go back to this. Attention and value allocation. Where do players spend their time? All right. Engagement's growing, declining, or stable. Let's see. Overall playtime was stable in 2025 as a contraction on console was offset by PC growth. So let's see. What is this? So this is playtime. So PC made up 48% of the playtime. PlayStation went down by 1%. Xbox went down by 1%. But PlayStation went 32, 30. I think with PlayStation though, the playtime is very in line with the biggest games of the year. Like this year's playtime is going to be huge. 2025 playtime is going to be crazy. I think we all could see that. I think we could all see how crazy 2025 is going to be for playtime. It's going to be absolutely insane. It's going to be absolutely insane. with all these games, with Resident Evil, Sorrows, Wolverine, Grand Theft Auto. It's gonna be some serious playtime uptick. So I think that's why like the numbers aren't really that dramatically off. It's a percentage off. I think it really comes down to um, the playtime. Like look at 2023, 2024. Like 2023, right? Why 2024 jumped so big on PlayStation? Can anybody guess? Yeah, let me zoom in. Ooh, let me go back. Let me zoom in. Right? This is 2023 right here. 30% of the playtime was on PlayStation. But in 2024, it jumped to 35%. Can anybody guess why? What was significant for PlayStation in 2024? Let's see if anybody could get it. Why would the playtime go up so much in 2024 for PlayStation as compared to 2023? Can anybody guess? And it's not a trick question. You guys should be able to get it. God of War Ragnarok? No, that came in 2023. Astrobot in 2024? Or maybe I have wrong. Maybe I have the no. Astrobot came out in 2025. But you're on the right track. It is a game. So you guys do have a game. It's a particular game in 2024, and it was being played a lot. Celebrate's good. That's you could say kind of, but one particular game, Helldivers 2. Guap boy, Guap in the house. yo. My man Joe Button said you gotta get up out of here. Guapzilla in the house. Yo, Guap man, you are the man, bro. I started laughing. My man came in, boy, like he just won the Grabbies. Yeah, I don't know what I'm talking about. Yo, so there was a Twitter space with Joe Button. Joe Button, a rapper, with a podcast he had. He had his crew there and he was doing a Twitter space. And Guapzilla, put his hand up to jump in and they invited him. So Guapzilla got invited in the Joe Button podcast on Twitter. But Guap went in and be like, yo, is Guapzilla in the house? And Joe Budden's like, wait, what? Oh, hell nah. And ejected him. Yo. I don't care. I love the energy. I love the confidence, boy. I love the confidence, Guap. You go in there, man. It's not your fault they couldn't take that energy. My man came in with the energy, boy. He came in with the energy. Is Guapzilla in the house? And Joe Button, man, he messed up an amazing opportunity, boy. You came in with, and it was positive energy. It's not like you came in saying reckless stuff. He's like, yo, is Guapzilla in the house? Yo, that's it. That was awesome, bro. That was awesome. Shout out to Guap. But yeah, okay. So we got that chart. So we got there. Okay, let's see what's next. Roblox was the most played franchise in 2025, with Battlefield returning to top 20 as legacy franchises saw broad declines. So top PC console franchise by overall playtime. So Roblox had the overall most playtime. Fortnite on PC and console combined. Fortnite was number 2, Call of Duty, Minecraft, and Football Club. So the top 5 is Roblox, Fortnite, Call of Duty, Minecraft, and Sports and Football Club. Then Counter-Strike, League of Legends, Grand Theft Auto 5, 2K, and Marvel Rivals. Then World of Warcraft, Valorant, Dota 2, Rainbow Six, Battlefield is 15th. Okay. Apex Legends, Rocket League, Overwatch, Sims 4, and Monster Hunter. You see? This right here, what you see right here is what I'm saying. To create a really successful game, you have to crack these guys. Right now, out of all this, there's only 2 new games. Marvel and Battlefield. And Battlefield is a long, traditional, long-standing title. And Marvel just has, Marvel created a hero shooter game, right? With the most popular heroes in gaming. So when I see Sony's like, oh, we got to invest so much, I'm like, yo, you're competing with all of this. And this already has a huge fan base, man. You don't see the finals up here. You don't see Helldivers 2 up here. What else you don't see up here? What other games? What happened to Arc Raiders? You see what I'm saying? This is a very challenging genre to compete in. You know? Absolutely challenging, man. So you clearly see what the gamers want to play, and I just, even to this day, I'd be looking, thinking like, Sony, like, what? Like, I get the business side, but why couldn't you see that the gamers on PlayStation are happy with the multiplayer that's there? They're not asking for you. Now I know there's Twitter guys, like BG Broken Games. He's like, oh, Sony needs to make this. I know J Dub, whatever. But the reality is, they really didn't. Sony does not need to make multiplayer games. That is not a need. What they need to do is feed what the community is willing to buy. That's the need. Feed the community what they actually want to buy. And the community wants to buy those amazing single player titles. That's what they show up for. They will show up for that. The big blockbuster titles from the first party, that's what they want. Really, people ain't really asking for that much multiplayer. It really is. Even when PlayStation had the multiplayer, like during the PS3, whatever, it was really SOCOM 2 that had like the biggest impact, and that was on PlayStation 2. PlayStation 3 did not have the big blockbuster impactful multiplayer games. I'm not saying they didn't have good multiplayer games. They had good multiplayer games. They were good in the sense of design, gameplay, and enjoying it. But they weren't among the top games played of that era. Resistance was not the top playing multiplayer. Neither was The Last of Us, Factions, none of those games, Mag, none of those multiplayer games. I wouldn't even say Killzone. The top multiplayer games of the PlayStation era were, once again, the sports games, Call of Duty, especially when Modern Warfare came out in 2007. That started the whole Call of Duty trend, right? Battlefield, Bad Company. Those were the multiplayer games that were like the biggest blockbusters that were played the most. The PlayStation first party, sure, you had decent communities, some great titles. Killzone 2 multiplayer was good. It was good, but it wasn't big. It wasn't like one of those phenoms of the generation. It just, the numbers wasn't there. So I always wondered, man, this is what you're competing with, Sony, and you decided to go through that. I just really wish that $3.6 billion was more for the single player, which is what we really want, right? The single player games are the games that, they're the ones selling 10 plus million. Now, sure, there's live service games that evolved. There's PlayStation franchises that evolved into live service game because they were just multiplayer centric, like Gran Turismo, MLB The Show, and then Sony's gonna get into fighting games. Okay, that's fine. But so much success came from the single player games, and man, well, hopefully Sony course corrects. It seems like they are. We know that they're back to true exclusives. We haven't heard much about live service games other than what's already in progress, which is Marathon, which already came out, Nexus Fair Games, and I think they got Project Gummy Bears. I really hate that project name, but we'll see how that goes. Another slide. Top 20 games continue to command over half of PC and console playtime despite a modest shift to ranks 21 plus. So let's see. Playtime distribution by game ranking tier. Let me zoom in. So this PC. The top. Okay, so the darker color is top 1 through 10. Lighter color is 11 to 20. The gray. So over here, this is 1 through 10. The top 10 games. The top latter half of the top 20, so 11 through 20, and then this is games that are ranked 21 or higher. So in 2022, 52% of playtime went towards the top 1 through 10 and 11 to 20. So 21 plus ranked was second most. And then 2023 was 53% for the top 10, 51, and now you saw a dramatic decline of premium, top games playtime dropped to 47% of the playtime. 11 through 20 is 11%. There is more time, or the 21 plus increase dramatically is now in the 40%. So it's true what they're saying, man. PC gamers are pushing more for older games. Top 10 share remains very high, signaling entrenched evergreen and live service game. Gradual softening since 2023 suggests some engagement is spreading to mid-tier hits. Now, PlayStation, right? Over here, top 10, 11 to 20, 21 plus. So 51, 54, 53, and then 49. A slight drop in 2025, right? 13 mid tier, 21 plus, slight growth, but not in the 40s. Most top heavy platforms, so it's very top heavy PlayStation. Stability indicates strong concentration, a handful of franchises and live service ecosystems. Now let's look at Xbox. Ooh, Xbox. Premium titles in the 40s. All right, mid, whatever. 21 plus. Also kind of like PC. In fact, more than PC. So 45% over here. Okay. It says right here, lowest top 10 concentration, pointing to broad engagement across major titles. Game Pass continues to distribute playtime beyond the very top hits. Okay. Oh, no, go back, go back, go back. Oh, went too far, went too far, went too far, went too far. Let's see right here. Almost 2/3 of console revenue goes to the top 20 games, while over half of PC goes to 21. Now, this is where Pirate was talking about in this one. So the majority of revenue is in the top 20 games in consoles, right? While PC, the revenue is primarily going towards 21 plus. Okay. Let's look at the things right here. It says top 10 revenue share declined sharply, suggests stronger performance of long tail titles, ranked 21 plus, and diverse spending beyond biggest hits. Revenue distribution is highly consistent with playtime. Highest top 10 revenue concentration among all reinforced blockbuster driven monetization. Consistently high top 10 revenue share, closely mirroring PlayStation. Despite broader playtime distribution, spending remains focused on top games. So let me go back to Pirate Nation and what he was bragging about. So this goes back to this where he was bragging about. Here he was bragging about. Now we got context. PC is not the only major gaming platform where more than half of the revenue comes from games outside the top 20. Newzoo's latest Western market data shows PC titles ranked 21 plus capture 56 of revenue in 2025, up from 48% in 2022. Console stock remained 35 to 38%. Now this, I think he's misrepresenting the title. See, if you look at the chart, it's not talking about the overall market combined, at least I think. Is that what he's saying? Let me see. Is there another slide? Maybe I'm just going to quickly look through. Maybe he's talking about another slide. Give me a second. No. 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 This is playtime. No. 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 This ain't it. Maybe it's here. Maybe it's here, so we'll get to that point. Maybe he's talking about that, so we'll get to that point. Listen, I'm a fair guy. I like to keep everything. We're gonna skip some because there's just a lot of things will be here. All right. Where we at? Okay, right here. Okay, so in this case, we'll just talk about this slide. So 40% is in premium games, while console is generally 50% or more. Okay. So what does that mean in this case? So we release a new big blockbuster title. It's primarily going to be the consoles that does that initial push. Now that game eventually will fall out of the top 20 and it's just going to be forgotten. Price is going to be down to $30, $20, $15, and that's when PC gamers would jump in. So what does that mean? For the $70 game market, $60 game market, the premium price market, console gamers is the we're shouldering the burden. The burden is on our shoulders, right? So when you look at that data, publisher is going to look at console gamers. PC gamers come in later in the half, the tail end. But then the prices drop. Games are like at $30, $20, and that's when they're buying those games. So PC gamers primarily are buying $20, $30 games. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that at all. They want to save money, they could wait, they could save money and wait. But when they say they're the main character and PC is driving in the biggest revenue, whatever, developers and publishers are going to look at the initial sales of their games at $70. and who's buying it. You see what I'm saying? PC contributes to longer tail and long term sales, but they're at $20, $30. But the initial big upfront push at $70 or at $60, depending on what price they launch the game, console gamers are there. Console gamers are doing the Lord's work. Okay. Let me see. We got anything here? All right. Okay. Let's go next. Genre data reveals potential AAA weakness as sandbox momentum builds and battle royale shows structural decline. Battle royale, woo, 24%. I like it. Die. Oh, okay. Let's go. Roblox widened its lead to 58% of sandbox playtime despite Minecraft's movie-driven uplift. All right. Minecraft and Roblox players heavily overlap with a large live service games in general. Okay. Console overlaps reveals sandbox players under index on AAA, Minecraft away from sports, Roblox away from wait. Console overlap reveals sandbox players under index on AAA, Minecraft away from sports, Roblox away from story driven. Okay. Let's see, Roblox. Let's see. So if you play Minecraft, you are least likely to play college football, NBA 2K, sports, Assassin's Creed Shadow, Ghost of Yotai, MLB The Show, Monster Hunter, Claire Obscure, Borderlands, Outer Worlds 2. I'm telling you, man, if you play, these are some non-gamers, bro. And if you play Roblox, you are least likely to play Monster Hunter, Borderlands, Oblivion, Assassin's Creed, Ghost of Yotai, Destiny, Gran Turismo, Battlefield, Hogwarts. Wow. Wow, man. I mean, man, all these dudes plays Roblox and Minecraft. Man, that's just wild how gamers like really would be stuck on just playing one game and they cheat themselves out of diversity in some amazing titles that are out there. That's why we call them casuals, right? And not gamers, right? Even though technically if you play a game you're a gamer, but we kind of have this understanding, right? If you play a game you're a gamer instead, right? But you're not going to have a gaming conversation when you play a breadth of library of games and then the other person is only playing 2K and Call of Duty. There's not really much you can discuss with that gamer. They're very limited on conversation knowledge, gameplay. They're just very limited on the overall gaming experience. Their gaming experience is just limited to 2K or MLB or Call of Duty or Fortnite or Minecraft. You know, and when you have a conversation like us, we having a conversation, we bring up all these titles. We're on common ground on what we can talk about. But if you're talking to a person that only plays Fortnite, what else can you talk about in gaming? They probably not versed in anything, you know. So it's just unfortunate that there's just people who won't dive into a breadth of games, so they get that full experience and stuff. Um, maybe like it isn't so much the overall hobby of gaming. Maybe it's just that one thing. Like if you're into basketball, so you really only play NBA 2K because it's that one game that's in line to your true hobby, which is watching basketball. Same thing with baseball. I know guys who watch baseball and they play MLB The Show, but that's all they play. But I think it's because they're a fan of baseball and not so much gaming is their hobby. Does that make sense? So I think that's what it's really about. Maybe some of these gamers or people who buy PlayStation, Xbox, whatever, they're not really gaming as a hobby. Their hobby is football, football club or American football. So they play Madden or they play soccer. They like soccer or European football. So they play football club. They like basketball. They play 2K, right? Or they just made like war movies and shooting guns. So they play Call of Duty and stuff like that. So it's not really being a gamer in a hobby of gaming. It's another hobby that they enjoy, and gaming just provides one aspect of that. So they partake in that. But it's just unfortunate them not expanding their horizon because gaming has some incredible content Um, incredible content, and they're missing out on. Absolutely missing out. What's this? Survey data reveals Sandbox as a demographically balanced cohort, schooling younger and slightly male. Okay. So Sandbox games. Let's see. Oh, so this chart right here, kind of like, so to the far left, let's look at the chart. You got younger at the corner, older at the top, and then the bottom is gender, right? To the right, all the way to the right is male, all the way to the left is female. Okay, so females in the middle age, they like simulation games. Then as you get closer to the right, role playing games. A lot of females like role playing games. A lot of females very adventure games. So more females play role playing adventure games than males. Strategy games, and then you hit the middle ground. Racing and sandbox is in the middle ground, but sandbox is towards the younger audience. Racing is really the middle ground in both age and gender. But as you get closer to the male side, you got fighting, battle arena, shooter, very male dominated, battle royale, very male dominated, and sports, very male dominated, and it's probably the one game that is at the older crowd, higher and older crowd. So sports, very male dominated, and older crowd. Okay. And simulation, very female dominated. Okay. That's interesting. Let's see what else. This one is shooter and battle royale combined. All right. Battlefield and Arc Raiders strong release cannot offset the rest of declining shooter playtime. All right. Call of Duty console audience over index on sports and under index on RPG. All right. Top overlap, most likely to play. Okay. Bottom overlap. Okay, so Call of Duty audience. This is interesting. So we're gonna focus. If you're a Call of Duty gamer, right? The top overlap games, meaning you're gonna play Call of Duty and something else, is Fortnite, Grand Theft Auto 5, Roblox, Minecraft, and Battlefield. So the biggest Call of Duty, the Call of Duty games I've spent the most time in Call of Duty, this is their overlapping games right here. This is the biggest overlap game. So 26% of the Call of Duty gamers, their overlap game is Fortnite, Grand Theft Auto, Roblox, Minecraft, and Battlefield. So this is like their secondary games. Now, what they're most likely to play is obviously more Call of Duty, obviously, Madden, and Undisputed boxing game in 2025. So Undisputed, so Call of Duty gamers, obviously more Call of Duty, Madden, and Undisputed. What are they least likely to play? Hell Divers. You're telling me Sony chasing after Call of Duty games were first party, and they ended up making a game that Call of Duty gamers most likely won't want to play to begin with. What are we doing here? What are we doing here? You chasing up. Am I reading wrong here? Let me look at the chat. What are we doing? Am I reading this wrong? Help me out here. Maybe I'm misinterpreting it. Did I read this wrong? It like I'm. You were looking at the screen. I'm looking at the screen. Are you looking at the screen? Let me put the screen up. What this says right here. Least, least, least likely to play. And at the top, what is this? What are we doing here? What are we doing here? Call of Duty gamers are least likely to play Helldivers. Hold on, hold on, hold on. Give me a second. Give me a second. Give me a second. Hold on. Pera. Hold on. Hold on. Ain't no boy, ain't no way, boy. Hold on. Oh, boy, ain't no way, boy. Boy, ain't no way, boy. Boy, ain't no way, boy. Nah. What we doing? Where you at? Where you at? Where you at? Where you at? I know you. I know you're around. Give me a second. Where you at? Give me a second. I'm gonna find you right now. Where you at? Nah, this can't be. To celebrate. Ooh, shoulder, right, left, right, turn around, walk it through, walk it out. Do the thing with the hands, and then we're gonna spin around, and then we're gonna do electric boogaloo, point to the air, point to the ground, and then we're gonna turn around, and then we're gonna do robot, and then we're gonna do shake the shoulders and glide, praying mantis, fizzy hands, diamond girl. Sony, y'all really made a game that Call of Duty gamers are least likely to play. To celebrate. Y'all made a game. Ooh, at least likely right, gonna play. Left, right, turn around, walk it through, walk it out. Do the thing with the hands, and then we're gonna spin around, and then we're gonna do electric boogaloo, point to the air, point to the ground, and then we're gonna turn around, and then we're gonna do robot. That's what we doing. Robot, and then we're that's what we doing. Shake the shoulders and glide. Praying mantis, fizzy hands, diamond girl. That's what we doing. That's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. That's what we're doing here. Yo, all right. Let's see what else they're least likely to play. Elden Ring, Night Rain, Claire Obscura. You know what? I think it'll be a better idea if, you know what? I think I kind of want Call of Duty to go exclusive to Xbox. Get y'all guys out of here. Get those guys off the platform. Just get them off. Just get them off. Get them off the platform. You gotta go. Yeah, I gotta go. Yeah, I gotta go. Elden Ring and Borderlands. Notice they didn't put the other PlayStation first party exclusives. Like you don't see God of War on there or anything like that. I'm just saying. The one first party PlayStation title that they won't play so happens to be live service. I'm not saying anything, but I am saying something. All right, here we go. Let's see what we got through here. There's the next one. Battlefield audience most likely to play a diverse assortment of shooters, slightly under index. So over here, this is stuff Battlefield players would play. Whatever. Arc Raiders audience prefers to play multiplayer. Least likely to play. Okay. Annual franchises share sports genre drop 5 points. Yeah, boring. What share of total playtime available to new releases? Who's this? 6+ years, 1 to 5 new releases. PlayStation, Xbox. In 2022, new releases, the share playtime, 1 to 5 years, 6 years. All right. 6+ years is Fortnite, Roblox, Minecraft. New releases is EA Sports, Battlefield. Okay. On PC, new release playtime slightly grew. Okay. PlayStation saw a small boost in 1 to 5 year group thanks to Roblox striking growth. Okay. Roblox, boy. Xbox new release playtime grows through day one Gamepass effect. Okay. No annual franchises, share of new releases. You know, Let me go back. So they got these data of playtime with new releases. But I want them to also show out of the new releases the percentage of those games getting beat. I want to see that data. Because the reason why is this. Technically, all you got to do, especially when it comes to Game Pass, because, they take it in, because of Game Pass, new releases get played more. But what's the point of somebody saying, "Oh, new game came out day one. Let me download it." They boot it up, they play for 30 minutes, and then they don't play it no more. What does 30 minutes playing the game 30 minutes do, or an hour? What's the actual interest in the games? How long hours? Like how many are they willing to beat it? And they could get that data because all you got to do is just extract the achievement or trophy that shows you beat the game. How many people, percentage of people that got that achievement or trophy? You know, that's what I would like to see. Because if somebody goes to Game Pass, oh yeah, I played lots of games with Game Pass, and they only spend like I seen people, we seen it on Twitter. Hold on, pera. Let me give me a second. Give me a second. Let me look for it. Hold on. Can you hear me now? Are we good? Testing. I think, yes. So how long have I been muted? I didn't do anything though. Finally? 10 minutes. All right, hold on. Oh shit. We're gonna have to give you all right, here we go. We're gonna do this. What slide? I'm a damn 10 minutes. Yo, listen, I don't even know what slide to begin. Before the slideshow. Finally we can hear you. Yo, is that bad? That long? We've been trying to lip read. Oh shit. So hold on, where we at? Fuck. What Twitter you was on. This is what you get for using PC. Shout out to go to P23. He says, this is what you get for using PC. We need this audio. Oh, snap. That's crazy. No audio for the last 5 minutes. We can't hear you. Yo, and I wasn't even looking at the screen, bro. I was deep diving into... Shout out to Donald Breakers. What is going on with you and Hard 8? Have me rolling over here. Homeboy tries to be a bully, but yo, listen, Hard 8's easy. Hard 8 tries to bully people, but come on, man. You can't do that to me, bro. He should know better. He should know better. He should know better. He's gonna get slaughtered. Man, I was locked in on my lessons, bro. I don't even know where we at. Like, what slide was I at? No, because I go back and forth between screens to make sure that I'm showing you the screen and stuff like that. The sandbox slide. Okay, so this one right here. So this is where the sound went off. I need 3 screens. So this was it. Not all the slides. This guy said all the slides. But right here is where everything went to trash. Lord. I'll start all over. I think page 47 before that. Wait. You were Silent Rock 77. This is why PC is trash. Was it this? This is slide 27. We missed the whole presentation. You did not miss the whole presentation. That's a lie. That's a lie. Listen, so I'm gonna guess you missed this. I know y'all heard me talk trash about. Listen, damn, I don't even know where to begin. Yeah, right there, right where the sandbox. Here, the blue and green chart. He said, "Go Mac." He said from the top. Nah, dog. That's like we'll be here till Sunday. Further, page 47. All right, so let me see this. Did you guys hear me during this? Did my sound? I'm gonna go down the slides. Did my sound go out on this slide, or did you get? Or did I move on? Okay, so we're not. Okay, so start from this slide. So anyway, I'm gonna give you the quick recap here. All the way to the left, simulation, mostly females. All the way to the right, sports, guys. That's how we roll. Next slide. I didn't really care about this slide. This slide, Battlefield, Arc Raiders, didn't really care much. This is where I talk shit. Did y'all hear me talk shit about this? Or was my sound already out? Y'all heard this? Y'all heard me talk about this? Okay, so next slide. Okay, this slide, arc raiders. I didn't really talk much about this. I didn't really talk much about this. I didn't really say much about this anyway. I didn't say much about this. Really boring. Really boring. Didn't say much about this. I didn't really say really anything significant in this. Didn't really care. Skip. Let's see what else. Didn't say much about this. So this one, playtime distribution by game ranking tier. So right here, I did say, as you can see, top 20 titles, playtime. The gray is the top 20. The colored is 20, games that are out of the top 20. These are the top 20 games played on PC. Let's skip all this. Top 20 games played on PlayStation. It's insane how there's like two 2K games on there and two football club games like there. But you know what I noticed? Madden's not on here. That's what I noticed, right? But on Xbox, Madden's there. This is Madden. Madden's last. Top 20 games played. All right. Not much to talk about. Let's see. I don't care about free-to-play Call of Duty. This is really boring information. We're going to skip all this. Let's see. Anything. Let's see. $50 games. Placed. All right. Let me go back to where I was talking the most. And this was this slide. Where is it? Was it this at the $50? Where's the $50 games? Right here. $50+ games. What I was really talking about was this right here. This is what I was talking about. Right here with PlayStation. And what I was saying is we got to listen to M. M told us that, hey, let's be honest with ourselves. This big light blue 89, 89, 82, 87, this is games that are $50 or more. And games under $50, $30 is the lowest. 7, 5%, 6%, 7% of playtime. And games between 30 and 50 are 10, 7, 12, 14. We want the big blockbuster titles. We want the big blockbuster titles. Right here it says, oh man, this is real deal authentic for you. You're the best. That's it, man. You get the realest from the real for me, man. You get the realest from the real for me, man. Unbelievable. But it says right here, look at this. This is what we play, man. This is what we do. M is right, man. We want the blockbuster premiere. Listen, we want apple pie, fast cars, and big booties. Right? We want the Brazilian butt lifts. All right. We want them BBLs. We are BBL gamers. All right. We're so shallow. We're so shallow. We're so shallow. So shallow. We're shallow ass gamers. Can we just be honest, man? Let's just be honest. This is who we are, and that's okay. It's okay, man. We like what we like. It's okay. It's okay that we're like this. All right, this sub 30. Yeah, all right. There's a lot of stuff. All right. Tailored. Okay. Global leader. Yeah, we're gonna kick this up. All right. So we got all that. Right? That was a good time. Okay. Let's go with what I want to talk about. Game Pass. Let's talk Game Pass real quick, because that's the topic. In fact, that's one of the two topics I have. We spend more money, right? And how to fix Game Pass. Okay. So if you haven't noticed, there's been a lot of energy of people talking about Game Pass. It's too expensive. It's not growing. They got to pull Call of Duty out. 2 back-to-back financial setbacks with Call of Duty. Things ain't working well. Okay. All right. So you probably recognize this guy. I'm going to show him. I'm going to show you right now. Give me a second. Let me find it. Find it. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is Okay, here we go. Found it. Boom. Right here. So with all the issues, Derek Strickland, deep tweet, says how to fix Game Pass. Stop launching single player games into the service day one. Live games have better affinity with Game Pass. There's no way to directly monetize single player games from GP outside of monthly subs, therefore, it's too slow and represents deferred potential revenue. So, he has these great ideas of how to fix Game Pass, and they're pretty much comes down to so basically do what PlayStation's been doing. Let me show you something. This is what's hilarious because things finally come in full circle, right? Things come in full circle. Like this isn't new, man. Like like yeah, it's right over here. Like this isn't new. Sean Layden said the Game Pass is not sustainable, and this was 2021. Like we already had conversations on this. You're bringing big blockbuster day one games, and they're saying they're having trouble that they had to raise the price to $70, but you're gonna put on a service where you only get $20 a month, and that $20 has to be split across hundreds of games. It's hilarious. Like I said earlier in the show, when you keep it real, keep it truth, sure, it's not gonna have the immediate big impact. It's not gonna go viral. You're not gonna get the huge engagement and all that stuff, right? Because that's not what people want to hear. A lot of gamers don't, or just people don't want to hear truth. They just want their own bias confirmed. But the thing about truth is it has everlasting power. Truth has everlasting almighty power. It cannot be wavered, it cannot be floundered, and in time, its true strength will reveal and it will win. Truth will win. You may have to wait on it, but when you look back, truth wins all the time. And we said for years, Game Pass is not sustainable. This model doesn't make sense for gaming. Enjoy it while you have it, but things are going to change, whatever. Now they're saying, oh yeah, it really isn't working out. You think? The math didn't math. I even talked to somebody on Twitter. Check this out. Let's see if I can find that too. But the math didn't math in this one. Right? Here it is. This is the conversation I had. This is a big Xbox fanboy. This guy's huge. He's deep in the Kool-Aid. He said, right? I said, you know, so basically do what PlayStation have been doing. He comes out and says, which would be absolute trash. Yes, he's suggesting killing Game Pass, but I already know that's not going to happen because day one Xbox Studio games is how Game Pass makes over $5 billion per year, while PS Plus makes $4.3 billion per year. Now listen to his numbers. You would think the moment he typed that, before he pressed send, he should have been like, oh, wait, hold on. Let me look at this real quick. But he didn't think, because these Xbox guys don't think. I have to be like, what is his name? Fucking, what's this guy's name from Invincible? What's the dude's father's name? Omega Man? What's his name? From Invincible? I forgot his name, man. Invincible's father, who's ended up being a bad guy. Omni-Man. I'm like, Omni-Man, think! That scene, I'm like, yo, think! I'm like with these Xbox fanboys. Think, bro. Like your own statement, like literally. He did not take the time to actually look at what he wrote. So I had to do the thinking for him. I said, think about it. Game Pass, $5 billion a year, but with high development costs, day one AAA games on the service. PS Plus, $4.3 billion per year, without the high development cost, day one games on the service. From a business perspective, which model is the more successful model? Think! $5 billion a year, but you got AAA day one games, high budget games. That is going to absorb some of that cost. While PlayStation's making $4.3 billion and not a single day one game. They're all old games. Which model is the sustainable model? If you were making $20 billion a year or something like that, okay. Because that's what you need if you're going to put your biggest blockbusters. You're going to put Halo, you're going to put Gears, you're going to put Forza, you're going to put all these big titles. You need more than $5 billion a year. Sony got none of that. In fact, they just added Spider-Man 2, and that was like 2 years later. Man, these guys, bro, I tell you. It's crazy, bro. These Xbox fanboys. Now, come on, man. Like, bro. 5 billion, 4.3. The moment he wrote that, he should have been like, Xbox makes 4.3, you want to make 4.3 billion? Wait, hold up. PlayStation making 4.3 billion without any day one games, without any AAA games. All their AAA games get sold for $70 day one. And they're only 700 million short? Yeah, and you know what? Yeah. If it takes to make $5 billion and you got to put your full library of AAA games, expects to have development cost games to do it, while PlayStation doesn't, which is the more sustainable model? Sony's keeping more of their profits and not putting it back into the AAA games because the AAA games aren't in the service to begin with. Like, man, what are we doing here? And we've been said this. The math never math. It never math. Listen. My argument is not a good deal, or it's not whatever. To the gamer, hey, listen, you came off like thieves. Let's all honest. You, especially if you were smart enough to finesse the system, where you don't actually subscribe all year round. You only subscribe when the big games come out, and you unsubscribe. You know, when a big game comes out, you subscribe, pay your $10, $20, pay the game, and then unsubscribe. You know, finesse X stuff. You know what I'm saying? You don't actually consistently pay year, month after month after month. You just, take advantage. Listen, finessing the system, taking advantage. That's not what this is about. From the gamer gear, you guys got off, right? You got off with a lot of titles. Just admit it though. Don't pretend you're bringing in Microsoft all this huge revenue. You're getting off on a great deal, but it's just not a business deal. And I'm not saying you should care or not care. That's not what I'm saying. What I am saying is don't pretend this is something that's going to last forever. You're not getting off and getting over on Microsoft while at the same time Microsoft's making all this big money. You can't have both. When you're getting over on somebody, that person getting over on is the loser in that situation. That's all we're saying. We said from the get-go, this is not something that's going to last long. This is not the way forward in gaming in general. Day one games in general for a low cost, that's not going to happen. That was always a pipe dream. That was always a wish. This is going to change. It's just not sustainable. PlayStation's method is sustainable because it's, as Sean Layden put it, a curated catalog of titles. It's games that don't have a lot of selling power. Their shelf life has been on the shelf for a while. You're not really getting the big numbers. They're generally a few low sales, a few thousand here. You probably make more money gathering all these titles that no one's really buying, that has very little shelf life in sales. Put them all together, and then the culmination of all these titles in a library to access to, see if you make money that way. And that's how you really make money. You make money off of games that individually don't really sell a lot alone. But as part of a big library where people can see and be like, oh, okay, this is pretty good. It's a huge library. I could try out these games. That's how you make money. And that's all he was saying. Is day one games is just not sustainable to sell, but a curated catalog of all these older titles and stuff like that people moved on. But now you give them access to all these titles in a curated library at a low price, they'll jump on that. Simple. It's really simple. That's why I have this background. We hear you. We had to let them know. Gotta know the truth. Gotta know the truth. That's just how it is. Shout out to Russell. Thank you with a $10 super chat. Game Pass is a scam. I challenge any Xbox sucker to prove me wrong, and I will donate $500 to charity. This guy Russell. Russell's like a scam, It was never going to be a long-term thing. Gamertag Radio, Paris, and I forgot the other guy's name. They said that this was the future of how we consume games. No, it was not a future at all. It just wasn't. The math didn't math. People wasn't concerned about the math behind it. And you don't have to be. Not Hard Greed. He's not Gamertag Radio. The Dominican cat. Not Ginger Prime. He's not part of Gamertag Radio. It's King David. He's not Dominican. God, y'all gonna make me forget? Oh man, y'all don't know Gamertag Radio? Oh man, y'all killing me here. I forgot his name. Oh my God, I just forgot. Danny. His name is Danny. I forgot his name. It's him in Paris. They have Gamertag Radio. He's a Dominican dude from, I think he lives in New York. Because he does a lot of stuff there. Daniel Pena, yeah. Daniel Pena, yes. Danny Pena, yes. Thank you, D-Truth. Yes. Que lo que? Yes. They were there. They were big on talking about the future of Game Pass. They were all in on it. It just didn't turn out that way. But they never focused on the mathematics behind it. They never considered, wait a minute, How is $70 games, $60 games gonna get replaced with $20 a month titles that it has to share across hundreds of games? It just never was gonna work. It wasn't gonna happen. It was not going to happen. Now that Derek recommended, he's trying to make a fancy recommendation, but it just pretty much be a PlayStation. Do it the way PS Plus Premium does it. It's crazy. You know? They say, I guess they don't care about little Timmy anymore. Little Timmy's broke. Times are hard. Satya wants his money. Shout out to M. So anyway, Game Pass, just funny how now be a PlayStation. But when we said it for years, they dismiss us and say we're fanboys. Absolutely wild. Absolutely wild. Like everything's coming back in fruition. Everything we've been saying is now coming true. Yo, truth is powerful. Truth is powerful. Shout out to M. Here's M out here saying, I absolutely hate the fact that console war has now devolved into PlayStation versus PC. It is the most absolutely nonsensical thing that's happened in this community. No other communities entertain such drivel. You ever heard of an analog versus a fitness watch? Of course not. You know what? I absolutely agree. I absolutely agree with him. Now console war is PS5 Pro versus PC. It is no longer PlayStation versus Xbox or PlayStation Nintendo. All console war now is primarily, if you're going to pit something against PlayStation, it's going to be PC every time. Every single time PC is going in. And there's a reason for that. There's a reason for that. And it's because PlayStation just outlandishly dominated this gen. That there is no other console that can even compare. There just isn't. It's just no point. There's no point in actually having a console war with PlayStation versus another console. It's just not. It's just nothing. They just don't meet the full metric. The only platform that can, that is fair to put in the ring against PlayStation is PC. There is no more bring up another console compared with PlayStation. It's just not. PlayStation just absolutely slaughtered this damn gen. Like, this is even worse than the PS2 gen, I'll be honest. PS5 just bodied the hell out of this gen badly. Like, bad. It just bodied this gen, and it's like, if you're not gonna compare it to PC, then there's just no conversation. Then what conversation we're gonna have? You know? It's just PlayStation just completely bodied this generation. That you're gonna see more of it. I mean, even from a technological standpoint, it's just like the PS5 Pro. There's just nothing you can talk to. What console are you gonna bring up to compete with the PS5 Pro? There's nothing there. At least last gen, when the PS4 Pro was out, you can bring up the Xbox One X, and you can have a competition between the two, right? You can't do that this gen. Do I think Xbox can still compete? I think no, because they don't have the people. Number one is Satya. Satya's not going to let them. Satya is not going to do exclusives, which is the number one thing or number one integral part of competition. And he's the CEO of Microsoft. No one's more powerful than him, so you can forget about that. And I think there's so many people that are just so far off the rocker. I don't think they have the people to even do it. PlayStation just bodied this generation of spades that literally, that's why you're just seeing PC guys just constantly, nitpicking PlayStation. P-Rock, if Xbox was healthy, do you think Sony would put more effort into keeping the prices down? It depends if Microsoft was going to do it. If it was the 360 era and Microsoft had great console sales, let's say America was there. Let's say it was same split. PlayStation had Europe, but Xbox has America. They're the number one selling console in America. And if Microsoft's not raising the prices, then I think Sony would not raise the price either. If Microsoft says we're going to absorb the losses, I think Sony will absorb the losses too. If Microsoft was already number one in America, like the 360. That's what competition does. But let's say if Microsoft was number one in America and they raise the prices, Sony would then say, we're going to keep our prices to sell more, or they will raise the prices to keep profitability. That, I don't know what they would have done. If they were behind Xbox Series consoles in America, we probably see a different Sony in some areas. Competition, breeds that. But right now, man, PlayStation bodied this damn generation so bad that they had no issue selling a Pro for $900, which is kind of wild. PlayStation Pro is great, but I don't think I would have paid $900 for a Pro. I'll be honest. I don't know if I would have paid $900. Like, if it launched at $900, I don't. I don't know. I mean, even with the trade-in and stuff like that, I paid $7. You paid $650. Good, and you. I paid $7. So, and I got the hard drive, not the hard drive, the disk drive for $10, brand new. So I didn't pay $80 for the disk drive. Yeah, $900 is steep, even with a PS5 trade-in. It is. $900 is steep. I ain't gonna lie. There's no damage controlling. PS5 Pro is great, but I don't know if it's $900 great. This is why I was so adamant when I made that video and I was telling everybody, man, PS5 Pro $650 is even cheaper than when I bought it. Just get the Pro, man, or get your PlayStation now, man. Don't wait till next year. Like, 2025, PlayStation should have been out of stock every single day in November, December. That should have been completely off the shelf. Completely off the shelf. Like, no PlayStation anywhere in the world. But PlayStation 5 Pro, probably the best console technologically ever. It's literally almost like a next-gen console with its technology and all that stuff. It was a bigger jump. This mid-gen refresh with the PS5 Pro is a huge jump, right? There is no console, better. That's why, like, when the conversation of the Pro comes up, people bring up PC. And I don't give a shit what PC has. That's PC gaming. If I want, the Pro, is actually because I want the best experience on PC. I mean, on console. So if I want the best experience on console, and there are people that say, oh, it's a scam. Okay, tell me the better console then. Oh, no, you should get a PC. Tell me the better console. Don't bring up a totally different gaming platform that I'm not interested in to begin with. The hell I'm going to buy a PC for, and then on the 28th, I can't play Sorrows. That's just downright stupid. Then I can't play Wolverine. Couldn't play Yotai. Gonna miss out on the God of War remakes. Gonna miss out on Intergalactic. All those great titles are coming out. I'm gonna miss out on all that stuff. And for what? To be told that, I can mod my old games? I can play PS3 ROMs? So I can play old shit that I don't want to play, but the new stuff that I do want to play, but I can't, and then I hate the part that play like, why are you picking a choice on a few games? Bro, it's a choice based on games. What better choice is there? What better metric than games to pick a platform that you want to play on? It's literally the best metric. If you're not making the choices based on games, then I don't know what the hell y'all doing. I'm making a choice based on games. I get all the third party that's relevant and stuff like that I want to play. So PC has it, I have it too, and I get all these other games that's not on PC. So I get third-party games and all the games not on PC. Why would I pick on PC just for third-party games? For other stuff that I really don't care for, that, let's be honest, really don't matter, I don't care about putting energy into modding games. I don't really care about the whole subscription service thing. It's really not that bad. Most of the hell, I'm not even paying for it. I don't really care about that stuff. I care about games, and I want the newest, and I want the big blockbuster games. See, the PC gamers, they wait 10 years for games. I'm not waiting 10 years for games. That's not my style. It's all about the games. My decision is game-based. So when I bring up well, what about this game? What about this game? They dismiss it. They dismiss it because these are a bunch of non-gaming mod guys that just want to mod penis on girl characters and stuff. It's disgusting. Bunch of weirdos. Trying to hear all that bullshit. Listen, I'm playing Soros on the 28th. If I was a PC gamer, I couldn't do that. In September, I think it's September, right? Wolverine comes out. I'm gonna miss out on that. And then in November, Grand Theft Auto 6 comes out. I can't play in November. I have to wait whenever it does come out. So I'm gonna spend more money on a PC to not play games and to wait for games that I want to play. It's stupid. It's a stupid trade-off. I'm not trading that for mods. I don't give a damn. Oh, but with PC, you can pick your frame rates. What frame rates can I pick on Soros? What frame rates can I pick on Wolverine? It's just stupid. You see what I'm saying? So some of the stuff they want me to trade off one thing for another. No, I'm not trading off. I'm getting the third-party games just like PC. Plus, I'm getting titles not on PC. Win. That's it. Win. All that other stuff is not gonna. It's not gonna outclass games. None of the things you're saying will ever beat out playing games. That's the apex of gaming. That's the apex of a gaming platform. It's the games. It is the de facto games. No feature will ever override games. You want to play the games? Look at Nintendo guys. Nintendo guys don't have a technologically advanced platform. It's not. It's not technically advanced. Have the slowest frame rates, visuals or whatever. But it has the games they want to play. And no amount of tech savvy, high performing anything is going to change that. Not going to change that. Nintendo has the exclusives. That's all that matters. Superior performance is irrelevant when you don't have access to the games that you want to play. The games that you want to play will always be the number one factor in the gaming platform. If you pick a gaming platform and it doesn't have the games you want to play, I don't know. That's weird. I don't know. I know some people say, oh, it got free cloud service. Like, really? Modding games and stuff like that is more important than the games you want to play? Or maybe they don't really want to play those games. Like, to me, like I said, we're probably talking to a bunch of people that don't really play a lot of games. They probably play the free-to-plays. They play Dota and Fortnite. Or Roblox, or CS:GO, Counter Strike, and I'm like, listen, if all you play is Counter Strike and Dota, why the hell are you talking to me about what platform I'm playing on? You hardly play games. You're only playing, what you play, and maybe some old games because you're not gonna buy games day one. Get out of here. You're not in a position to tell me about gaming platform stuff. So we're good. Here we go. Hold on a minute. Give me a second. My daughter's calling me. Give me a second. Wait, hold on, guys. Give me a second. My daughter is locked out. Give me 5 minutes. Or less, not even 5 minutes, just 10 seconds. Coming, coming. All right, I'm back. All right, all right, all right. All right. Sorry about that. All right, here we go. Here we go. Back to the super chats. All right, here we go. It says right here. Um, let's see. We got Galaxy Fur. Name one console that sold over 100 million units that didn't have exclusives. La Falau. That guy had no response to you. He couldn't answer me. Oh yeah, good. Shout out to you. Yeah. So some guy, it's probably deep in archives, but some guy on Twitter argued to me that you don't need multiplats. You don't need exclusive. Multiplat generally sell, and the console will be fine. So I came to a point like one, Xbox had pretty much nothing but multiplats, and they're having a terrible generation. And then I asked them, name me one console that sold 100 million in any generation with no exclusives, just multiplats. Of course, they disappear. Like people just say stupid stuff. Think, like bro, think. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are we doing here? You know, like it's crazy, bro. It's just. Let me see right here. Like this right here. Man, can I get a clean image? Man, they don't have a thing. Oh, okay. This is probably a clean image. There we go. Yeah. I can't get it, but you know what I'm saying. Like seriously, man, I'm beating these Xbox fanboys down. No, I'm beating them down, and I'm like, bro, like for the love of God, think, bro. I'm like, think. These dudes don't think. They don't think. They say all these things and all these comments, and they don't actually look at, data or just perspectives or look how things turned out. Console will be fine with just multi-plats. No console was ever fine with just multi-plats. The most successful consoles had exclusives. Man, like what are we doing here? Business says PS5 equals Anthony Joshua and PC equals Jake Paul. Yo, it's wild, You know, that's it. So, I think that covers all our topics. I think we did a good job. I apologize for that 10-minute, you know, audio thing. That shit was crazy. Had your guy stressing, you know. Thank God there wasn't like a serial killer behind me, and you guys try to warn me and shit. Imagine that shit. I'm here talking la la la, and then you have like some dude in a mask just staring at me. And I'm just here talking about, new Zoo data. Hey, look, the configuration of PC and console gaming. And the dude is sharpening his knife. And you guys are like, back behind you. God, what the fuck is wrong with him? That shit, thank God there was no actuator behind me. And stuff like that. Live on TV, live on the stream. And you're like, this guy's really not listening to us. That would have been something. Anyway, man, listen, listen. I had a great time with you guys. I really enjoy it. Let's do the vote. Let's see the vote. How it turns out. So 80% said do a morning show Wednesday 10 a.m. All right, okay, got it. Cool. All right, I think we'll work that. Do me a favor. Let me show you something. If you follow me on Twitter, I think you should be able to hit me up in the chat. I think you send me a message. If you can't send me a message, right? If you can't send me a message on Twitter, maybe you don't use Twitter, you can hit me up here in the community. Let me see. Hold up. Where we can do it. All right. In fact, this is what I'm gonna do. Look here. Let me do here. Uh, so here in the community, all right, I'm going to right here. All right. Okay. Let me see here. So here in the community, you can find me on Twitter. Okay. All right. Let me know. Let me know some ideas. Some ideas. Some ideas for the Wednesday morning show. It will be. It will show. Okay. It will be 10 a.m. Eastern time. Most likely. Most likely gaming centric. Most likely gaming centric. But maybe. Oh, hold on. Spelled this wrong. Most likely gaming centric. But maybe opportunity. Maybe an oppor, opportunity to do something different different because in terms of format. Let me know. Let me know of any ideas you would like to see. Okay, so it's public. This is everybody up, all channel members, 16 and higher. um I'm gonna leave it public, right? I think it's public, whatever. And then here you go, right? So you can reply here, and I'll look at everybody's recommendations. Um, you know, and we'll probably kick that off next Wednesday. After 60 frames no lag, and then Wednesday morning I'll do the live. Also, see if you could recommend some names. Right, we got 60 frames no lag on Tuesday. Puertorock77 live on Friday. What would the Wednesday morning show be? What would you like to see? You know what I'm saying? Let's see what it says in the chat already. Um, for about 15 minutes, PR77 was the perfect man in a woman's opinion. Like we couldn't even hear the screams. Like you wouldn't even be able to hear the screams or nothing. Let's see. Wednesday mornings, that will be my background while working. That's cool. Can't get enough of P Rock. P Rock 77C. I'm on the West Coast. I go to sleep in the morning. Wouldn't work for me, but I'll listen later. Okay. So you got the night thing, what I do. Okay, cool. And now you have a morning. All right, though. Don't even minimize censorship. That's not what we do here. He said 10 a.m. I'm catching Z's. The morning pee. The morning pee. Leave it to SPR, bro. The morning pee. Catching Z's in the morning. Oh, question. Wednesday mornings will be a variety podcast, random news. It could be. It could be. I could implement that. I could, break out something different, right? I mean, you have the 60 Frames Live podcast the day prior. Then you have Friday Night Live, which is Gaming Central. It could be something different. It could be something out of the box, right? Um, 60 FPS, no audio podcast. Ouch. I'm never going to live that down. Could Dark Dog be in it? I think he works during the mornings, though. How about Puerto Rock Hump Day podcast? He goes to Hump Day. The Humpty Hump. You know? We could figure it out. We could figure it out together. We'll mature it, right? But we'll just launch it. I'll figure out. We'll give it a generic name. Um, both shows. See, so yeah. So the 60 frames no lag is very community. Like I got groups of people, and it's pretty much a traditional podcast. The Friday Night Live is just me doing stupid stuff. You know, like being muted for like 10 minutes and stuff like that. And you see me type on Twitter talking trash. Puerto Rican Coffee Podcast. You know what? There is something. There's something to that. P Rock in the mornings. That's some. P Rock in the mornings. That's good. Puerto Rican Coffee Podcast. All right. Friday Night Live. Frames no lag. We need it consistent. Okay. We got something, right? But we got to see what people want to, because we'll have the podcast with the community on Friday. I mean Tuesdays. Then the morning Wednesday. So we'll see. We'll figure it out. We'll see. We'll see what works. We'll see what works with the people. Right? But with that, hey, really appreciate you guys being here. Don't forget, membership opportunity is available. But thank you so much for rocking out. To my friends, my family, my fellow gamers, this is your only friend in the YouTube streets, Puertorock77, and I am really thankful and blessed that you guys rocked out with me this Friday. Another great Friday. For some of you, it's already Friday afternoon. I mean, Saturday afternoon, whatever. Or you're in the West Coast, still got a little time. But hey, you guys be safe, have fun, take care, and have a great weekend. All right, I'm out of here. I'll see you guys Tuesday. 60 Friends Don't Like Podcast. All right, the only friend is YouTube Street, Puertorock77, and I'm out. Peace.